Hi, everybody. The podcast is back. Amazon is broadcasting rappers' funerals live on Juneteenth. It's a great time to be alive.
6 times in a row. That was some of the most insane shit. And
How do
honestly,
you know when a rap beef is one-sided when you can sing a song 6 times in a row and the crowd would get more loudly proclaims about how the person who used ass kicked is a pedophile?
honestly, speaking of pedophiles, we'll talk more about that later. But, but honestly,
I don't know how
Kendrick's
many conversations that start with speaking of pedophiles.
already off to a great start. But anyway, uh, yeah. So anyway, I find Kendrick's level of hatred like actually aspirational. I'm like, just imagine being like that level of hater. I'm like, it makes me want to try harder.
He puts everyone to shame.
There's few things that I don't know if I hate anything in this world as much as Kendrick Lamar hates Drake. I hate the way you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress.
I would
All
imagine
right.
not.
Oh, okay. So, you know what the best part about that whole thing is, and someone had to point this out to me. The main thing that they kind of fear about in all this is that Kendrick Lamar feels that Drake doesn't really live a black lifestyle, doesn't live as a black person, just lives as a white guy. And someone pointed out now that you know how they always do this day in history type of stuff on Google?
Mhm.
Every time Juneteenth comes up, he's going to be reminded of this concert.
Oh,
Because
wow.
he did it on the day. I'm like, that's another level of hateful.
You know what? Even the other level of hateful, and I just kind of noticed it when I was looking closely at it. Both like Bloods and Crips are like dancing on the stage, like.
Uh, they partially ended gang violence for a day to show how much they don't like this guy. I don't know how to explain to certain, like I was explaining to them, people like, you need to see this picture of the stage during the pop-out concert, and they're like, I don't get it. I'm like, those people normally want to kill each other if they breathe the wrong way, and they're on the same stage just to show how much they hate this guy. But, all right.
Don't mess with LA. It ends badly.
No. And don't tempt one of the most lyrically, I want to say, complex, talented people in the rap game ever to a rap beef because you think you can destroy him when it's been almost proven you run off ghostwriters.
You know the thing that's most hilarious is everyone's like, "Oh, Kendrick, can't make dance music," and he just produces like a club banger saying like, "I can do this, I just don't want to."
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I like to be thoughtful with lyrics. But all right, so we forgot to do this last time, and I completely apologize. All right, Mike, go first. How your past 2 weeks been?
Pretty much business as usual. I have started looking at a couple apartments.
Oh, good.
So far I've only seen one, and I'm on the wait list for 2 others.
Dang, is this the first time you've been looking at this?
Yeah, I just started this year.
Well, I can also just where you live for context. I imagine nothing's cheap because nothing's cheap where I live, and it's cheap where I live.
Actually, the places that I've been looking are not too terrible. They're about like $950 a month, and that's
Okay.
and that's including utilities.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I again, the reason why I'm on the wait list is because
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
it's because it's a pretty popular place.
Damn. All right, man. Good for you. Awesome.
That's really good.
Fiona, how's your past 2 weeks been?
A little bit of a mixed bag, honestly. But restarting the arcade podcast for Renegade Pop Culture was nice. Shameless plug. And getting into physical therapy now. Yesterday was my first, as of the time of this recording, yesterday was my first really real session. And
Nice.
tomorrow's going to be the second one. And I actually walked yesterday and stood on my stupid bum leg, which is actually now my strong leg. It's going to get
Nice.
stronger. So
Nice.
be excited for that.
What?
Yeah. So yeah. I was going to make a joke. I'm not going to do that though now because I just realized that that's not a good joke. Okay. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it's just been it's been pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Can't complain. Also, did a marathon session of Warframe today. Because just because I could.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about Warframe before. What prompted
I
that?
have never. Well, I mean, I have played it before, like briefly, and I found it to be pretty impenetrable in terms of like the lore and everything like that. But
Yeah.
but lately, people from from my streaming community and Red streaming community have been sort of like encouraging me to kind of get to it and try it out. And be like, hey, if you want a Destiny alternative, because kind of looking for one, might as well.
First Descendants dropping like later this month, right?
First Descendant, yep.
Yes.
Free to play also. So I'm pretty excited about that. Once Human is also really good too. So yeah, just been playing a lot of games and trying to be more hopeful and more positive. Yeah. So
Nice.
There have been stressful things, but for the most part, can't complain.
Nice. Good to hear. Bree, how's your month been?
Well, I don't know. The background kind of says it all. No, I mean, I've been good. I've been like super duper busy with freelance script writing. I'm gonna actually kind of take a semi vacation next, actually starting Friday, to go see my grandmother. And I just decided it's just gonna be a complete art week. I have my sound recorder, my camera, and I'm gonna make art and not have any responsibilities for a week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. That'll be fun. I am basically taking a vacation all next week too. I have a buddy of mine from Canada that's coming down for the 4th of July, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll be picking him up from Minnesota airport Saturday night, so I'm pretty excited about that. I haven't seen him in a few years. I have been watching more anime. Finally finished Stellar Blade. I have to say, outside of Black Myth Wukong, that's probably going to end up being my game of the year. I am shocked as hell how good Stellar Blade was.
Yeah.
Especially the music. Holy hell is that soundtrack off the charts.
I can tell you that was I haven't played a whole lot of it, honestly. But the music was definitely something that made an impact.
There,
yeah.
Near the end, there is a string of like 8 boss battles in a row.
Jesus.
And every one of them has unbelievably different music, and it's all great.
Mm.
And it's got a very Evangelion-esque ending
much.
at it. And oh boy, did it get even more Evangelion-esque the further I went. Oh boy. But yeah, it was really good. And the fact that it's the first game this studio's made outside of mobile games is nuts.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
Someone had to add that only on the PlayStation, this being a brand new IP that didn't exactly have a giant budget for marketing, in 2 weeks it sold 1 million copies.
Oh, wow.
Bayonetta in its first 6 months, or Bayonetta 3 in its first 6 months, on the Switch, being the third of a series, didn't sell that much.
Wow.
Mm.
Yakuza, the latest one that came out, that's on every... No, I'm sorry. Persona 3 Reloaded, I think it was, that came out on the last 3 consoles, didn't sell 1 million copies in that time. And it was on everything. It's kind of nuts how well this game's doing for its situation. So they're now rolling out free updates, more costumes in October, and are possibly going to be looking into working directly on a sequel or DLC for this game in not long a time. I'm really excited for that.
Same here.
Yeah, it's really good. I never realized how, I've been talking about how my favorite thing in video games lately coming up is how they're implementing parry mechanics and everything. This game literally lived off of a parry mechanic. They based the whole game off of it.
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. The only complaint I will give, and I will see that it was pretty, I want to say all around with everyone. Boy, was some of the voice acting not the greatest. And being it as their big major first game like this, it wasn't that like the lines were bad. It's the inflection and tone of which they told people to give it.
Yeah.
Could go from very good and spot on to the excitement of watching paint dry. So, and in like very important situations, and it was normally on only one of the characters, and I won't say what it is. Like the main character of Eve and Lily were pretty good. Yeah, I think I just totally gave out who the other one was because there's like 9 total actual characters with speaking roles in that game. But anyway, yeah, no, it was really good. I was unbelievably impressed. I thought I was gonna like it. I ended up loving it. Okay, so we're gonna start out with buy or sell like normal. This is actually gonna take care of a good chunk of the topics. Okay, so. Buy or sell, I'll go with Kiona first, if you watched it. I know it only came out like a few days ago. The Batman Caped Crusaders first trailer.
I'm going to say buy. I actually just watched it, so...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I watched it earlier
honestly. But I like the animation a lot, and I think it harkens back to that 90s Batman era, BTAS era, so I'm pretty happy about that. Sadly, Kevin's not going to be voicing him. I guess it's time for something new. But at the same time, seeing the Bruce Timm style of animation and not hearing Kevin Conroy's voice is going to be a bit of a trip for me. I don't know if I'm ready for that myself, but I'm willing to give the show a chance. And just based on the trailer and how it looks like a noir, crime Batman saga. I'm excited for that. So yeah, bye.
Yeah, now correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time in the animated DC universe that we've kind of seen like the original like 1930s Batman with like the noir aesthetics?
There was a short that came out like years ago.
What was that Justice League one with
New Frontier.
The New Frontier? Thank you. There was that. That might have been like about the only thing. I don't know if that was exactly that time frame, but
but this is like very specifically like this is the like original Batman, like 1939, and I love that. Yeah. And I really. I mean, I think the new guy's doing a good job. He's not Kevin Conroy. I don't think anyone can at this point. No, but I really like the directions that they're going. Like especially of like Harley, and especially because I don't think we've ever seen like Harley like this early in like Batman's lore. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see her be more an integral like Batman year one antagonist.
Yeah, I'll take that as a buy then from you.
Well, yeah, it's fucking Batman, of course it is.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, this is a big buy. I've been excited for this series ever since it was announced. What, 2 years ago? Maybe
I think
sooner?
it might be closer to 3.
Yeah,
It was at least 2. Yeah, it could be 3.
It does suck that Kevin Conroy passed before he could record any dialogue, but I like who they have for the new voice of Batman, Hamish Linklater. He is amazing. The rest of the cast is great too. We'll get into more of that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, this is a huge buy.
Oh, I buy it too. And I don't know whose the voice was that was in that trailer, but it sounded like Yuri Lowenthal doing an outrageous old 1930s gangster's accent. And I want to know if that was actually Yuri Lowenthal or who that was.
The other thing is, I'm like, how good this looks is, how fucking stupid is Warner Brothers is that this is going to be on Amazon Prime. Which everyone has, and it's not on Max.
You want to know what this is?
How weird is that?
You want to know what this is turning into a worse version of? what Xbox is doing with their exclusives. They're doing it
God,
worse
it is.
because now they're not even
It
putting it
is.
on their
Oh
own
my
platform.
God.
They're putting it on everyone else's but theirs.
Yeah.
It's somehow
agree.
stupider. All right. It's unreal. You get to see these things come out now, and you're like, you want to know what? I'm waiting to see David Zaslav go, man, that looks really good. I wish we would have had that. We did, David.
I
You
know.
didn't want it.
Well, I don't know. He might still be shitting his pants about losing the rights to the NBA. So, and also he doesn't value the IP. I know we're kind of skipping it ahead, but I just want to bring this up for like a short tangent. So the direct happened. Did you guys see that fucking Game Mill Looney Tunes game?
Yes.
Yeah.
It made the Funko game look good.
That's sad.
I'm willing to give the Funko game a chance. I'm not willing to give that wacky whatever Looney Tunes game a chance.
Yeah, like at least the
Because I thought
Funko game. Yeah, at least the Funko game looks enjoyably bad.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't pay $60 for it, but $20 I'd be like, maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Crazy mashup game.
Yes. All right. Mike, buy or sell that Spaceballs 2 is in the work with Mel Brooks and Josh Gad?
It's a cautious buy because I like Josh Gad. I like the director of, I think it was Barb and Star. It's a Mel Brooks sequel that I'm not sure we need, but it's one of those things we've kind of joked about ever since they made that joke in the first Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Money. And if it's not called that, by the way, shut it down. Like, what are we doing? Bree, buy or sell?
I'm kind of in the same camp as Mike. I'm like, on paper, it could be good, but... And this is nothing against Mel Brooks or Josh Gad or anyone behind this. I just think this kind of shows, you know, where we are, like, right now. Like, yeah, movies, and, like, nothing makes sense anymore. I mean, I saw Inside Out 2, like, last week. It was really good, but I don't think anyone, like, especially if, like, how tracking is, could have predicted it would do that. So, like, nothing like tracking with movie theaters, just anything. Nothing makes fucking sense anymore.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'll get into mine when it's for me. Kiona, buy or sell?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I really want to say buy. I really want to say that, even though it's very cautious, but I think I'm going to have to say sell. Because I don't know if this is going to turn out good. In the environment that we're at, to have a Star Wars parody, you know, like the first one was a straight up Star Wars parody. I don't know if they're going to do that here, just because Star Wars is sort of a parody of itself now. I mean, you know, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying that in terms of like the quality of the shows necessarily, although some of them, Boba Fett was awful in my opinion.
Hey, that was the best season of The Mandalorian yet.
Well, you know, what I think is that, like, I don't know.
No, I'm kind of with you too.
Yeah.
I just, especially if it's like Star Wars, like I don't hate it, but I also don't care enough about Star Wars right now. I'm like, okay, it's neat. I'm just kind of like indifferent to everything. Like I'm not gonna like get mad at that, and we'll get more into that later. But
I really hope that it turns out good. That's all I have to say about it, is that I hope it turns out good. But
I hope so too.
Do I have, you know, if it really goes through, if they actually end up making it. But like in terms of how I feel about it, I'm gonna have to say sell.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the weird thing about the fact of Mel Brooks doing this, because this could have been done, and if they were going to do it for purpose of purpose of doing its sake. They would have done it directly after The Force Awakens. So part of me thinks that Mel Brooks is doing this because some unbelievable light bulb went off in his head, and he wants to do this.
Maybe.
But my only problem, other than Bill Pullman, is going to be a new cast.
Oh, right, because Joan Rivers passed.
And John Candy.
And John Candy. Pretty much all of it's going to be new. So in my head, I'm like, what do you got cooked up that, like, in my brain already, I'm thinking Josh Gad is going to be Barf.
I mean, that sounds like it makes sense.
So I'm just kind of think I'm like, okay, maybe you're recasting or you're actually doing the new kids and you're directly going to make fun of The Force Awakens and have Bill Pullman die in this sequel, like, because he's literally the Han Solo ripoff. I'm thinking in my head of how this movie's gonna go. I mean, Spaceballs is legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time, and if Mel Brooks thinks that this should be made, he's one of those filmmakers that I think is only going to make a movie he thinks it's going to be good. Because, like I said, it could have came out after The Force Awakens to just, get whatever. Now, when this does come out, and like you said, it being a parody of Star Wars, it almost could be the most genius marketing for the movie ever. Because people are going to want something that's not Star Wars. They're just going to go... I can guarantee there's going to be some critic that goes, somehow this doesn't seem as stupid as some of the Star Wars is making fun of.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's got a chance to do something. I don't know. I really that's a
maybe.
I'll start out with
is that a buy or sell for you?
This is hilarious. Buy or sell. According to the latest Capcom shareholder meeting, the Street Fighter film continues to make tens of millions of yen each year.
Well, you see, for me, it was Tuesday. So I think, personally, did they say yen?
Yeah. So that'd be like hundreds of thousands of dollars if we're talking like millions.
I know that movie has a cult following. I know that. I'm one of them. But
right. Well, if it's like 1 million yen
to bring in revenue?
Well, if it's 1 million yen, then that's roughly about
tens of millions of yen.
All right, so let's just say it's bringing in like around $1 million a year. I could believe that.
See that? Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean,
I'm trying to think of the American equivalent. Is like somehow the Resident Evil movies are still making millions of dollars.
Well, yeah, obviously they fucking are. Because why would there be like, are we like 6 or 8? I lost count of how many of those stupid fuckers there are now.
There was 6.
Oh,
there's been one. There's one in the rebooted. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not talking animated ones. I'm just talking.
No, I'm talking. Yeah. I remember the one I was like laughing my ass off. It was a Netflix one. It had like what was like da 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 da. That pop song. I was like laughing my ass off.
So you're asking me buy or sell?
Buy or sell.
I could actually kind of buy that, given what Bree, what you just said, Bree, in terms of it, maybe making I could kind of buy that. Because I know that it has a cult following, and I know that there's a lot of people that maybe are enjoying it with a new sort of lens, looking at it through a new sort of lens. But I don't know. I know I love that movie, even though it's really not at all a Street Fighter movie. It's more of a G.I. Joe movie, and it's more of like it's a crazy it's how all these crazy kids spent their coked out summer in Thailand. I don't know. It's just like, while they filmed this. I mean, it's crazy. I love it for what it's worth, but it's okay. I'm gonna say maybe leaning towards buy. I could see it happening. Leaning towards Bison.
I buy kind of for like the nostalgia reason. It's gained a cult following, and I think this is even the 30th anniversary, so
true.
Oh shit, it is. Yeah,
it is.
1994 was 30 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, and earlier this week was the 30th anniversary of The Lion King. We're old.
Yeah. Hey, Manny. Bree by herself.
I mean, I kind of buy it. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's at least streaming on like some platforms, so I'm sure that's accounting for like some of the revenue versus like DVD or Blu-ray sales.
It's a comfort movie for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those movies that I can just put on and go and do stuff or try to sleep or whatever, and it's just on in the background. and it's
I
here
don't
to,
know what to tell
dumbass
you of
shit.
who would be the kind of person that would buy Street Fighter the movie on Blu-ray. But I'm just saying, some people do. They got good steelbooks, okay? You can't.
Manny, you're not that fucking old. Jesus Christ.
Oh, we did figure this out the other day. All right, so I will say I will buy it more if they only ever show the movie on a Tuesday. That's all I'm saying. I was -4 when The Lion King came out.
Oh my god.
All right, Mike, buy or sell that nobody 2 starts filming in August.
Huge buy because of the director. If anyone has seen the movie The Night Comes for Us, then you know how awesome Nobody 2 is going to be.
Nice. I have not yet, but I've heard really good things about it. Bree?
Same.
I mean, Bob Odenkirk's in it, so bye.
There you go. Nice. Kiona?
I'd buy that for $1.
$1.
Just one. All right. Kiona, if you saw this, I don't know how many people did see this. Buy or sell the trailer for the Watchmen Chapter 1 trailer.
Oh, I did not see it.
Okay, has anyone here seen it?
I have.
I think I did last week, and my question is, why are we doing Watchmen again?
Well,
that would have been my question.
Because it's animated and someone other than Zack Snyder.
Well, I guess that, but I feel like it's just another excuse for Alan Moore to want to, kill himself. But
hey, we're probably going to get the giant squid this time, so.
Oh, yay, the giant squid. Well, I was missing that from the film.
I love to tell people about that, and when they've only seen the Watchmen movie, I'm like, hey, did you like it when they cut the giant squid at the end? What? And then they acted like I'm weird, not acting like the existence of Dr. Manhattan isn't outrageous.
True.
Like, what movie were you watching?
Far be it for me to question the genius of Alan Moore, but, giant squid. Giant alien squid.
But Mike, did you buy or sell it? Just not a.
It's leaning more towards
big one.
It's leaning more towards sell, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a huge fan of Zack Snyder's Watchmen movie. I just don't think we need to see Watchmen again.
Yeah.
Well,
what
not only that, but
TV show. Did it
was
just
one.
stop
It was
because they
one
didn't
and
wanna?
done. No, it was just one and done. They're like, that's the story we wanted to tell. The end.
Okay, because I never watched it. I just got told that they could have had a season 2, and the guy went, I don't wanna.
Yeah, he's like, nope. I've told my story. I'm not gonna, make this shit 8 seasons. I'm like, bye, y'all.
Honestly, I kind of respect that. The Watchmen series is great, but I get not wanting to drag that out for super long.
What's your comic like Batman Year One was? Yeah, some people do or don't like that. I really liked Year One, but I could see why people didn't.
I mean, I get
Year One,
why.
the animated?
Animated movie.
Oh.
I mean, I get why this exists.
I thought it was good.
Because while the Watchmen TV show is good, it's not really a straight up adaptation of Watchmen.
It's more like a sequel to the comic.
Yeah, which is fine. And the only straight up adaptation is the Snyder one, which again, it's getting up there. It's good. Is it the most? I would call Watchmen the adaptation of all times, but it's not bad. But I get why they would want like another version of Watchmen. my thing is, I don't know how many people are going to be like into this, because I feel like Watchmen has just kind of been done.
It's been done.
Do you know how this is going to get a lot of views?
Hmm.
Because all of these Zack Snyder fans are going to watch it just to bash it and say it's not as good as his.
I hate how right you are. Like I fucking hate it.
I just know it's going to happen.
It's true.
I just know it's going to happen.
It's already starting to happen with our next topic.
Yeah.
God.
All right, everyone. Buy or sell these set photos from the Superman movie. Mike, I will go with you first.
I buy Mr. Terrific a lot because look at that.
That costume is just perfect. Like, legit.
Perfect. No notes. 10 out of 10. I have my I have some notes regarding the Superman suit. I'm still not a big fan of the collar. The trunks are fine. I've never really been anti-trunk.
Is this the first one we've seen where it has, like, the trunks actually being held up by a belt?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember him having a belt in the Donner films or other adaptations, but other than the collar and a few minor things, I like the suit. The suit's fine.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't get why people are hating on the suit. Like, I get it's like a little bit cartoony. I mean, it does have sort of like a 2D look to it, but I'm like, isn't that like kind of the fucking point?
Yeah.
All right. So, Bree, I take it that you're buying from this.
Well, also, I'm trying to be tasteful and not banned from Twitch, but yeah, I like it for several reasons.
I can't imagine why. Slavish faithfulness to animated comic book movies have their place. You already have a motion comic. Let's just take some liberties. Yeah, get a point there. Okay, all right. Kiona, buy or sell?
Cautious buy.
Cautious buy. I'm not.
I do like
lie.
the Mr. Terrific suit, and I like the whole the kind of tone that James Gunn is going for. But yeah, I'm gonna just say cautious.
Now, Kiona, tell me the truth. Do you buy the fact that they made Clark Kent look like a jacked up version of Tony Khan?
Oh my god, it's true though.
Now,
what is going on with the hair? What is happening?
Hey,
windy day in Chicago? Like, what's happening?
Here's the thing I'm going to say, though, and I'm serious about this. I have never been a person that's the whole, he puts glasses on and you don't think he's Superman.
Yeah.
That shit has bugged me for forever. Now, you make him actually look like an imbecile doofus at points with a completely different hairstyle? That guy I wouldn't recognize as Superman.
Therefore, Tony Khan, like you said. Imbecile
doofus. Nice! I love Tony Khan so fucking much. He could be an absolute imbecile. Tony Khan.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. I will say, though, that looks like they're directly taking the look for Lois off of the animated series in the 90s.
True.
Yep.
No, I mean, I feel like that's exactly what it is. Because even the color, like, it's that very, like, specific blue. And, like, even, like, the belt, like, that is just straight up the DC Animated Universe Superman.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I like it. And the
Jacob.
more I look at this now, the more that every single time I hear someone say that Corn Sweat looks exactly like Henry Cavill, I don't think has ever looked at a picture of Henry Cavill.
No.
Yeah.
Like, they both have black hair and a jaw. Is that the qualifications for looking identical? Like,
but can Corn Sweat build a PC on his own?
Not looking as good as Henry Cavill did. Listen, I am as straight as an arrow, but Henry Cavill's a good-looking man.
Can he just instantly get everybody pregnant by building a computer on his own?
He almost got me pregnant. I can't even get that. Just all right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Worked for me too.
Okay. This is one of the most what in the actual fuck announcements that's happened in a while. Like, buy or sell that Will Ferrell and Banjai Kids is in the works for a live-action Total Spies.
So the reason
Wow.
I have two reasons for selling this. One, you do not need any more fucking live action adaptations of animation. And two, isn't there already a new season airing in France?
Yeah, and
because Jennifer Hale isn't in it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also I think one of them's like gay now, which is good for them or whatever. But honestly, like it seems like a really bad idea, especially since Totally Spy is usually baby's like first fetish show. So
I'll take it as a buy from you.
I don't know. For live action, I feel like I'd be put on a list. So.
So, Fiona, buy or sell? I got nothing here.
I also have nothing. A live action thing.
Well, Kiana, do you know about the Totally Spies lore?
Remember that Charlie's Angels movie from a couple years ago?
Yeah, I like that one.
Are we kind of evoking that though? I mean, that's going to be kind of what it is, right?
Except they're teenagers and it's French, so it's really fucking horny. Like really.
I bet they're not going to be teenagers in this new one though somehow.
No.
Yeah, I know.
They'll probably be in like early 20s or something.
Which at that point,
go ahead.
Which at that point, like, why are we even fucking here then?
The dark and
I don't know. I don't know. You know how they wanted to make like Power Rangers, but like Bulk and Skull were crackheads? Do that with this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, look, I'm a Power Rangers 2017 defender, and fuck y'all.
So am I.
So
am I. I hate humanity for letting that sequel fail, or letting that movie fail and not get the sequel.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you, the Krispy Kreme shit had me on the fucking floor because they're like, okay, we have to do like a product placement. Let's make it as fucking ridiculous as possible.
Yes. Yeah, like I just couldn't like that gave us Dacre Montgomery as Jason, and it was great.
It was
like
great.
Give or take, they had a joke about jacking off a horse in this first 10 minutes of it, but you know, it's whatever. Like they gave me a sample from Kanye West in a movie, and I didn't want to blow my brains out, so.
Also, the fact Elizabeth Banks is just top 10 like scene chewery, she just fucking eats up every frame that she's in, and like she's like so weird and like overly sexual. Just the choice to make like Rita Repulsa into full like dominatrix mommy milf.
Rita Repulsa, not very repulsive in that.
Well, and like they were actually like combining together multiple shows of lore to make it run faster. Like they were introducing Zeo in the first part of the first. I'm like, huh? I remember having to wait 4 years for that when I was a kid. What the fuck? But yeah, it was. And you also had Bryan Cranston as Zordon.
Yes.
People like to forget. He did a shit ton of voice acting in the original, and he's the reason why Billy Cranston was named Billy Cranston. Yes. The meth seller used to be in Power Rangers, everyone. He is the one who morphs.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of ridiculous, like how many now famous like actors and voice actors came out of like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. True. All right, so as I say this, I can hear Josh Lozano groaning. Kiona, buy or sell that a second Uncharted movie is in development?
That a second what now?
A second Uncharted movie is now in development.
Oh, a second Uncharted movie. Sell. Didn't like the first one.
Brie.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I ever saw, but it wasn't.
I mean, I didn't even bother seeing the first one because I don't really fucking care. But
I didn't see the first one either.
But also, I'm like,
I saw it
because it didn't look good.
Okay, I will admit it wasn't perfect, But as far as like casting and stuff goes, Tom actually didn't do terrible. I will
No,
admit that it
No,
was
he wasn't my
weird.
problem. It was just like weird. I'm like, I guess part of it's why, I feel like the whole point of like Uncharted is that you're living the adventure. I feel like just being like a bystander watching on screen is just kind of like missing the fucking point.
Well, partially yes and partially no, because it is a Naughty Dog game that is insanely cinematic, and it's kind of one of those that has the in-betweens to where you're having scenes and you're just pressing buttons to make sure it goes right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made money, so I was kind of waiting on in between Spider-Man movies for when we were going to get this thing, and now it's taking forever for the other one to come out. So it's
What a waste of Antonio Banderas, man.
That was a weird choice. That was a weird choice. I just love the fact that there was an interview with Mark Wahlberg when they were finally getting this movie off the ground, and they had to let him know that he wasn't playing Nate, now he was playing Sully. That's how long it took for this movie to come out.
After how many directors? Like 5?
And 5's probably being generous, man. They were trying to make the movie
Yeah.
for a while. All right, Bree, buy or sell that Peter Jackson is definitely working on the Adventures of Tintin 2, says Andy Serkis.
I mean, if it ends up existing, bye. Because it's one of the few stop motion animated films from that era that isn't like an uncanny, like horrible, like disaster that makes me, want to go cry in a corner because I'm having like an existential crisis.
You didn't like the dead eyes of the first one? No, wait, that was Polar Express. I'm sorry, I was getting my movies mixed up. Never mind.
No, that's Zemeckis.
No, never mind. Mike, buy or sell that they're definitely working on Tintin 2?
I buy that I want this. I sell that it's actually going to happen. Because it's been how many years now? 13?
Was it? The original came out what in
2011.
2011? Okay, so yeah, it's been 14 years. Jesus, no, 13 years. I can't count.
Anyway, and I'm pretty sure after the Hobbit movies, Peter Jackson's like, I'm done making narratives. He's kind of just stuck in the documentary field now.
What was the thing that one was going to be directed and written by the other, and then they were going to flip-flop them? Was that what the whole thing was?
Yeah, Spielberg did the first one. He would produce the second and direct the third. Peter Jackson produced the first one, and he's going to direct the second.
Got it. Okay. Yona, buy or sell?
So,
Okay. Did you watch the first? Did you watch the first one?
Zero hesitation.
I watched enough of it to know that I didn't care for it.
Gotcha. All right.
It wasn't my thing. It just wasn't my thing. It's fine.
I get you.
If you
Well,
liked it,
it's an old ass comic,
Yeah.
so.
I agree with you, Jacob. There. All right. Mike, buy or sell that Micah Monroe says It Follows sequel is bigger, darker, and more fucked up. Reading it was the craziest thing ever.
Bye. I am ridiculously excited for the sequel to It Follows.
Nice. Bree, buy or sell?
I don't know. Yeah, bye. I mean, I like fucked up shit, so.
All right. Kiona, do you see the first one?
I haven't, but anybody who talks like that, I don't trust them. It's a sell.
It's just oh god. They're selling too much. I get what you're saying.
Right, but Kiona, you're missing the point. That makes me want to see it more because the percentage of train wreckness, drastically increases.
No, that's fair, but I'm gonna say it's bullshit. She's not telling the truth.
All right. So for anyone that watches The Boys, I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure I know at least Mike does, but buy or sell that Kripke is attempting to complete his Infinity Gauntlet and has found a role for him in season 5 for Jared Padalecki.
I buy, and just as an aside, I still need to watch Gen V and start season 4. I will get to that soon. It's just other things are piling up. But of course, I buy Kripke scooping up the other Winchester.
Oh yes, Kiona.
Bye.
Bye.
Definitely. He has to do it. He has to do it. He
Yeah,
has to. At this point, there's no way you can't get out of that. You have to have Jared in the show.
Now, and supposedly the rumor is that in season 5, he's playing the boys version. Again, this is a complete rumor that everyone thinks that this is the role he's being slotted into, is the boys version of Thor.
I can see that.
Which he technically picked up Thor's hammer in Supernatural, and they made a big joke about it. So I was like, that'd be really funny if they did that. Brie, buy as well.
Honestly, for all the super Hulakians from like 2009, it like needs to happen.
It does. And there just needs to be some point where he makes fun of Soldier Boy.
There has to be Soldier Boy. There has to be a scene between them. There cannot not be one.
It's unbelievable because like they even have Jeffrey Dean Morgan now in the show. It's just like they have the dad for crying out loud. I'm like, somehow they're going to get Samantha Smith in there and have everyone.
Get everybody in there. Get everybody.
Good
in there.
Lord,
Why
absolutely.
the hell not?
All right. So I know we talked about this on this, and I think that Mike and Bree may be the only ones about it. Kiona, buy or sell the final actual announcement of Lollipop Chainsaw Repopped?
Oh, that's definitely a buy. That is a buy like by 10 million times.
Yes. I'm quite excited about that.
I love Lollipop Chainsaw. It's so great.
Yes.
I mean, it's a classic, you know.
Classic.
So bye.
Yeah. Mike, for you don't know, it's essentially what God of War ripped off with Mimir. I mean,
Oh my god, that's so true. That's so true.
I love telling that to people that are God of War. I'm a God of War fan, but really strict God of War fans get really pissed when I mention that. It's an old school. It's the definition of a PS3, Xbox 360 era game of just over exaggerated zombie killing, which was written by James Gunn. And it's the game that essentially started Jessica Nigri's career.
Yep. She won a contest to portray the character in a commercial, and I remember seeing that commercial.
Yes. She did originally get noticed with the Pikachu cosplay, but Lollipop Chainsaw is what really set her off.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Kiona, buy or sell the fact that PlayStation is completely skipping Gamescom?
Buy. Yeah. When have they ever? I mean, when was the last time that they actually attended one of those big, mega showcases?
I believe they did go last year because I think they showed something for Spider-Man, but that was about.
Oh, true. Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna just release a big, like a direct, basically, or a state of play, or a showcase or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna release that instead. And I mean, obviously. They might even, for opening night live, they might show something there. That would be what I would guess if they're going to show anything. So, definitely a buy.
I think the timelines they're probably going to showcase at the ass end of the year when they have more stuff actually ready. Because the state they're in is weird. It's transitioning off of canceling all the shit that Jim Ryan had set up and concentrating them back on single player games again.
Yeah, and also like just the fact that things did not hit their targets, like Rebirth didn't hit its target. I just it's a little bit of a weak year for them. But
that's one of those things. I love the fact that we didn't hear from PlayStation about it not hitting targets. We heard from Square Enix about it not hitting targets.
Yeah,
I love every time when these statements get made, the company never says what the target was. Because they know how stupid they would sound if they mentioned what their target was.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it was, and also, like, they didn't have what Remake had, which was the fact that it was on, PS4 and PS5.
Not only that, but Remake came out during the height of the pandemic when everyone was trapped at home.
Yeah. That was the thing I was going to mention. Everyone wanted to play everything, and it's like, it has to be other factors. Because there's 60 million PS5s out now, and it dropped by that much.
Yeah.
I'm honestly still kind of shocked. I mean, the weird thing is I don't feel like the marketing push was strong for this one. Like I almost like forgot like the game was coming out. So I'm like kind of shocked, but and like not shocked at the same time that it didn't do better. I mean, it might get a second life once the PlayStation exclusivity expires, and then it goes on to like PC and other platforms.
And honestly, I love the game, but what's keeping me from replaying it is the fact that the mini games just.
I'm going to assume there's heavy sarcasm with this.
I know exactly what he's referencing to.
Yes.
But no, I mean, yeah, the mini games kill my enthusiasm for it. Even
there was one of the. This one did get less praise out the gate from reviewers because it was rather overstuffed.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I think that there's definitely good stuff in there, but it also made me want to throw my controller out the window. It was just it was so.
Oddly enough, I feel like it has a lot of the same issues that Kingdom Hearts 3 had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's Square Enix.
I'm kind of very sad about it, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. I buy it because, again, I think that it makes sense that they're not because they probably don't have anything ready, and they're probably saving it so that they have one big-ass showcase to make up for the fact that everyone is saying that Nintendo and Xbox did really good, because they did. So they probably want to have their own show to go, wait when we actually have something ready, and we'll show that we have something good. We're just in this really bad transitional period where everything we have is third-party.
We have things beyond Astrobot.
Yeah.
Look over there.
That Astrobot game is supposedly the most pre-ordered thing out of Summer Games Fest somehow. That blows my mind.
I'm glad that everyone loves propaganda along with their platformers.
Hey, that game was fun as hell. Did you play it at all?
I did.
The game was fun. But all right, so we're gonna start gaming news with
I'm just a cynical old bastard. Don't mind me.
So, speaking of pedophiles,
there's a transition.
Okay, so, oh God, when did he get kicked off? Like 2-3 years ago, Dr. Disrespect, who, oh boy, shocking the guy with that being his internet personality, did something sketchy.
Shocking.
What a shock!
Yeah, got banned from stream.
Confused.
Got banned from Twitch. I'm going to read his response to a guy who used to be a part of Twitch coming out that in the Whispers app. What?
Is this the first version or the one that he like re-edited twice?
No. I'm going to show you the first version. I'm just going to show what the Twitch guy put up as his initial whatever, and then when he backed it up later and said, I didn't lie. Essentially that he was in the Whispers app talking with a minor, and it was caught by Twitch, and then they banned him. And you could see a moment during his stream where he goes from 100 being happy to -40, talking about how he's going to have to make it through this in statements that make no sense considering the situation that he's in, and that he was supposedly informed at that moment that that was the last stream he was ever going to be doing. So, Dr. Disrespect's response to this, you guys start telling me when this starts sounding like a guy who would like to say that he's not a pedophile, but... Okay, so, hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut through the fucking bullshit. As some of you know, there's no filter with me.
Hey, where's Chris Hansen? Like, is he over here?
Okay, go ahead.
I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, and first of all, those close to me, my team and everyone at Midnight Gaming Game Studio, which is a game studio that he started who has cut ties with him. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with the Midnight Society and I, and we've made a painful decision collectively
Sure.
to have me step down.
Sure, you step down.
Yes. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have a higher career motivations and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we carefully crafted. Everyone has been waiting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Here's the part where I want you to tell me that it starts sounding sketchy. Were there Twitch whisper messages with me and an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding civil dispute with Twitch. The case dissolved in a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me. No criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I take absolute responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That is on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It was never should have happened. I get it. I'm not perfect. I fucking own my own shit. This was stupid. Now, question.
He should have used the ukulele.
For other than the purposes that people are accusing of, why would you need to use the Whispers app to talk to a minor on Twitch? What purpose serves it? Were you talking about Fortnite strats? What are we doing? Why did you need to speak to a minor in Whispers? Other than to possibly do some sketchy shit. Now, also, nothing illegal happened, but they leaned towards being inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mr. Hansen, don't step in yet. He was only leaning towards being inappropriate. Keep in mind, this is the same guy that was live streaming from a bathroom and didn't understand why that wasn't a bad thing. Anyone else got any comments? I don't know.
I've never been a fan of his. I've never seen a stream of his. I don't watch his videos. I got the vibe from the guy. I'm just like, nope, staying away from that dude. Like, I did not. No.
Yes.
No, just no.
I honestly, look, I'm like bad when it comes to like remembering streamers. The only ones I know are like voice actors who sometimes side stream or like people that like my friends like recommend. So I've never watched this guy's shit, but I took one picture of him. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a dude who should probably stay 500 yards away from a school.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of Dr. Disrespect. The name already is raising.
The name already, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you call yourself that?
Because I have to be an edgy boy.
You gotta be an edgelord.
There was a great comment that there was a picture of him coming out of the 49ers locker room, and then someone's like, y'all didn't speak close enough. They thought he heard 40 miners.
Yo! Oh my god.
And I fucking died. Oh, it was fantastic. But yeah, that was just one of those things where I'm like,
oh man, that's
why did you even respond to this dude? That made you sound a billion times.
That made you sound way worse. Yeah, that's like.
And also, he like edited it twice. So like, because he edited like the first time, he took minor out. The people were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" So then he added like minor back in.
Yeah, this is like what everyone parodies the Bill Clinton thing to be. Did I have sexual relationships with that woman? No, but I wanted to.
Well, also like, you know, there's barely anyone defending this dude. Like, there's like one who's like the usual suspect, which he got angry that Michael Giacchino said Nazis are bad. But you want to know, like, how bad, like, one of the other usual suspects, whose name rhymes with Mellow Mash, said, yeah, no. Like, do you have any idea, like, how bad you have to fuck up that kind of person's like, dude, no.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was that commented underneath it, but there was some person who has also been accused of sketchy shit that underneath the comments said firm handshake. Just as a comment, I'm just like, oh boy. Do we need to have Drake? Do we need to have you? Do we need to see who your favorite musical artists are? Well,
I think we're talking about the same person, Brock, and also, I mean, if we are talking about the same person, they're also, banned from like Magic the Gathering competitions for being an absolute creep, so that feels on brand.
Yikes. I don't want to go too much more into it. I just had to show that what was the stupidest thing I read this week. That was it. All right. One of the other stupidest thing I've read this week, and oh boy, does it show how he's an ex-developer. Ex-Destiny and Halo producer says that live service is better for developers and players. Now, I'm going to exactly...
Did they keep this person anonymous, or did they say who he was?
Let's go on through, shall we? Sure. A former Destiny executive producer at Bungie has said that the live service model is so much better for developers than a one-off $60 or $70 purchase model. Speaking to PC Gamer, Theorycraft Games CEO and former Halo Reach and Destiny executive producer Joe Tung, I'm going to presume that is how it's pronounced, said a traditional method of buying video games, meaning to make a single payment of $60 to $70, causes developers to make decisions which were not in the best interest of players.
And you want to know the type of person who makes this type of statement? I have an accurate illustration that I happen to have in my desk.
Good lord. That looked 1,000 times more creepy when it's a big green screen. Good lord.
Yeah. So that's the type of...
Yeah.
I love how I just had that on my desk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is the most out of touch statement that I have heard.
There's more. There's more. The games as a service model is so much better for developers and players. It was in the best interest of how do we sell as many copies in the first 48 hours as we can. One of our huge strengths of the game as a service model is that you can be long-term. You can think long terms and of what is best for the player. How does that overlap with what's best for the company? I think it allows you much, much, much better decisions overall. I would wager that any developer who has worked in the $60 product model up until this point where E3 was canceled has a story about the E3 build. He said, it's like, let's jam as much bullshit vaporware into the build as we can in the next 3 months because we have a huge showing at E3 because it's our opportunity to talk to the audience before the game launches. I would wager that some hugely significant percentage of those E3 efforts ended up on the cutting room floor just because they were half-baked, caused people to crunch, and really make huge sacrifices to get in. That's my favorite example of hugely impactful decisions that were not about what is best for the player. So basically, rushing for a live show is why it's bad.
Okay. So, does anyone
literally doesn't mention anything else.
So, does anyone want to talk to this exec? What's the biggest bomb of the year so far? Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. Suicide Squad's doing fantastic.
Oh,
not that I have another story about that later. But now you have to keep in mind, Helldivers 2 is also doing phenomenal. Problem is, they took their time and made a good product. So,
is there room for a live service multiplayer online MMO game, shooter, whatever have you? Is there room for that in the industry? Yes.
Yeah.
There is, absolutely. But does that mean that we take away all the single player experiences?
No.
No. I enjoy playing a lot of games that would be considered games as a service or live service games with friends.
Yeah.
Such as like I just said, Warframe. It was a good time for me. I just played solo and I was just queuing up with randos and stuff like that. It's fine. Destiny, I've played that with a bunch of random players and it's been fine. I never had a really bad experience with the Destiny community, honestly. And I mean, it can be fun.
Can be.
And sometimes you just want a game by yourself.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, here's the thing. Sometimes you just want to play a solo game. You just want to play a single player game. Also, you want a game that maybe is more focused on characters and story. And, like, just not something that is just an ongoing narrative, just bare bones narrative, I would argue, with a lot of these things and a lot of like Warframe to me, my one complaint, like I said before, impenetrable. I don't understand basically what's going on. I just know that I enjoy shooting. That's the thing that I enjoy about it.
Things you don't have a start point. You have to look up a 60-hour YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly. To understand what's happening. I used to be very involved with Destiny and with watching YouTube and doing a lot of that stuff. But it's like, my enthusiasm for that game has sadly waned. But in terms of single player games, like sometimes you just want to play a Spider-Man 2 or you just want to play like Rebirth, or you just want to play Remake, or you just want to play like Doom. I've been playing Doom a lot more lately too, and it's been hella fun just getting
Sometimes
in there.
You're just looking forward to Killer Bean, man.
Exactly. You're just looking forward to Killer Bean. Killer Bean looks awesome. Anyway, but I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of the experiences that Nintendo puts out are all single-player games, like Zelda, Metroid.
You literally live on. Is there a live service Nintendo game? Like pure Nintendo?
I mean, there's some games that have like live service elements, but not really like no.
That literally just hit me. That now that I didn't think about that, I don't think they. Unless I'm blanking. Like, would the closest thing be Splatoon? Is that treated as live service, or is that just
maybe
multiplayer?
Splatoon? Maybe?
Yeah, Splatoon, and then I think the
not even Pokemon as live service elements, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess.
New games.
I guess the closest would be Mario Wonder, and I guess some of the newer Fire Emblem games have elements where you connect online and you unlock new features, but that's not really like a live service per se.
No.
It's weird, but yeah.
See, the problem is that they're all looking for microtransactions and ways to catch the whale, and just make money and just release one product and make money off of it for the rest of their lives, and that's not what players ultimately want. What we want is variety. What we want is characters. What we want is story. What we want is something that's worth the money that we pay for these stupid things, because we're just trying to relax after a hard day of work or whatever. I mean. It's so out of touch with how people really are and what people really want from games. Yeah, frankly, that sickens me.
And
Mr.
thing
X developer, sir.
The thing that somehow developers keep forgetting to understand is that the piece of pie of people that like live service games doesn't get bigger.
No. It doesn't.
And they keep thinking that one person's going to play 6 different live service games. They're not.
Yeah.
I could barely handle one when I played Destiny.
Yeah.
And the one that I liked got canceled. Yes, Anthem, I still love you and always will. But
there were good ideas there.
There's I want that hit in First Descendant. That's the closest thing I'm going to get. I want it so bad, but
yeah, see, I want to try games like First Descendant or like that. Have you seen this game called Forever Winter?
I've heard of it, yes.
The game actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's games coming out that are live service games that I really want to play and that I'm interested in playing. But like in terms of Once Human is another one. I like that game for what it is. But like there's room for both, and ultimately I would just say like game companies got to start delivering on the things that we used to enjoy a lot more of in the past, which is good story, good characters, and awesome gameplay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And some of the live service games do have at least elements of that. So,
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
fair. Yeah.
All right. Now, going on to a totally not also stupid statement by a person in the gaming industry.
Okay.
So a statement from Matt Booty explains that he doesn't know what a successful
Friend of the
game
podcast.
producer is. Yeah, friend of the podcast. His friend of the podcast. I don't think I've ever mentioned Matt Booty before, ever. So in a interview, I won't go into the real sorts of nitty-gritty details on what went into the decision, mostly out of respect for the people there, but just know that there was a lot of work that went into delivering Hi-Fi Rush, which is a great game and did well for us. We need smaller games that do well, but that one didn't. Now it did. I think the thing to be considered for us is that a much forward-looking. Wow, that is a weird statement. Forward-looking situation as much as looking back at one certain game. There's a lot of things that go into success for a game. What leadership do you have? What creative leadership do you have? Is it the same team that shipped something successful previously? As we look at all those things together and ask ourselves, are we set up for success going forward? And while we may have been factors and situations that previously led to success, we may not still be in that place as you look at what you're doing going forward. Now, he mentioned creative and leaders and situations multiple times. Hey, Kiona, who left Tango Gameworks not too long ago?
Oh, that would be the founder of Tango.
Shinji Mikami, the literal reason that studio exists. Hey, yeah. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Shinji Mikami was the one who directed what is considered to be the worst game that they put out of every game that Tango Gameworks put out, other than Ghostwire Tokyo. The two games that everyone loves from that studio were made by the producer who's still there and was there when they shut it down.
And you know what I have to say? And I'm going to bring another pop out, but it's green, so sorry. This is Xbox. It's supposed to be the Grinch, but the Grinch is green. So it was a good idea. It just did not work out too well.
The fact that they're trying to blame that Shinji Mikami left as the reason to shut down the studio in the same
bullshit.
In the same reality that Hideki Kamiya has left Platinum and that studio is still open. Like, who else is there? He was the main guy. Now at Tango, they had a guy that made the good DLC for the first Evil Within that everyone loved. I don't remember if he's the one that did Ghostwire Tokyo, but he did the second Evil Within, which everyone agreed was a much better game and they wanted DLC for, and now we won't get a third game, and did the game Hi-Fi Rush that won them a BAFTA. And by the way, he did with no supervision comments because he openly said that Xbox acted like the studio didn't exist. I try not to bring this stuff up, but every single week, Matt Booty and everyone over at Xbox just goes, here's another stupid thing podcasters can say to make us look dumb. Go! They need to get off Twitter. They need to stop doing interviews.
Yeah.
I'm like, they just need a PR person. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
None of these companies are our friends.
No.
None of them.
None of them are.
None of them. None of them.
They are looking out for the bottom line. They're looking out for shareholders. That's really what it comes down to. The AAA games industry is screwed as is. Nintendo has their own ethos, which I appreciate. Mm-hmm. But Nintendo also, they go after the little guys sometimes too.
Yeah, they do.
It's a lot of the time. I mean, none of these companies are our friends. That's the reason why the console wars are stupid. That's the reason why, we should not be brand loyal to these stupid companies because they are basically trying to screw us out of our money. They're trying to screw us out of our time. As much as I love gaming, it's obvious that things are definitely wrong. We are in the darkest timeline here. And this is just, it's inexcusable.
And it's not even the top dollar is what they're looking out for anymore. It's what the developer, the guy who probably doesn't game, or has never touched the process of making a game at this point, is making decisions on what do you think is successful when a chart that says they're successful is 2 feet from his face and he's still pressing the terminate everybody button.
Yep. Yeah.
It's unreal. All right, going on to another good decision made by a person in gaming. Embracer rolls out a new AI policy to massively enhance game development.
Oh boy.
Okay, here's my thoughts on this policy.
Just wait, it gets better when you hear the departments that they're going to put the AI in. As noted as the Embracer annual report, the company has adopted a new AI policy package it claims has the capability to massively enhance its production process by increasing resource efficiency, adding intelligent behaviors, personalization, and optimization to gameplay experiences. Wait, it gets dumber. Embracer says that by leveraging AI, it will be able to create a more engaging, immersive experiences that provide each player with a unique, dynamic, and personalized experience. Wait, it gets dumber.
Jeez.
We also see a great opportunity for AI in game development speed, logistics, and planning. Embracer also understands the potential risk associated for the use of AI. Do you really, Ted? Do you
really?
Adds the company, noting that, and here's the dumb one, that AI can also be used in areas such as logistics or HR to improve in planning, decision-making, support talent acquisition, and enhance employee experiences or retention. How does AI help your HR department?
First of all, like, now that I've actually hear you reading that statement, like, that statement was, like, obviously written by ChatGPT. Like, like, the statement, like, unique, you know, it just reads so much like, does anyone remember the Wonka Glasgow experience, like, that happened a couple of months ago that feels like it happened, like, 6 years ago? Yeah. Like, it's the exact same, like, wording. I'm like, enhance, unique.
I also think that statement that Matt Booty released was also written by ChatGPT, because that sounded.
I wouldn't be shocked either.
Who the hell wants this besides AI shills on Twitter? And here's the best part. Directly underneath this, Embracer, who keep track here, which laid off over 1,500 employees and canceled 80 projects this past year, suggests that not using AI for relevant tasks will lead to being outrun by competitors. Because, not using AI is the problem.
That's the problem.
Not purposely buying up a shitload of studios in the hopes that you would get, what's the term? Bought out. But then it didn't happen, and your CEO comes out and goes, my bad, we made stupid decision. I don't know why Embracer is Russian now, but that was the choice that I went with.
We made stupid decision. Pass the vodka.
You'll get sent to Siberia.
I wish I could have more good gaming news during these than bad, but I just can't. I got some.
But Brock, we don't make enough games, so then we have to go to Siberia because, we don't know what the gamers want. These gamers, they want the AI so they can be personal. It's not that we're doing it to fucking cheap out so we don't have to pay people for their time and labor, no.
You went way out of Russian in the latter half of that. I don't know what you turned into, but that wasn't Russian. I want to say my favorite line that's Russian in anything comes from, God, I want to say it's season 4 or 5 of Arrow, where Oliver and Anatoly are sitting in a truck, and Oliver says something, and Anatoly reaches over, looks at him, and goes, "Are you being sarcasm?"
The bad thing is, it's like half my family's from like modern day like Ukraine, so I should be able to do like the dialect, but I don't.
You were able to at the start, but after a while you started getting like, I don't know if that was Polish or what you were doing toward the end.
Yeah, it lost me in that half.
All I know is I want to throw the AI in the gulag.
Send to Siberia.
Okay, so on to a tie back to an earlier subject and somewhat of good news. Rocksteady is moving on from this is supposedly a report that I don't know if it was exactly confirmed, but it was from an insider that's gotten good stuff before. Rocksteady is moving on from Suicide Squad, leaving a skeleton crew to work on it. The main crew of the company are going to be working on the director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy. When that's more important at this point, we know there's something wrong. The leadership does plan to go back to his roots and pitch their next single-player game to WB, according to Bloomberg. Supposedly, Warner Brothers also believes that they're understaffed, so they shouldn't receive layoffs or cuts because of Suicide Squad.
Well, I agree that the people should be fired, but also I'm like, didn't people just like drop Hogwarts Legacy like a month after it came out?
It did sell a metric ass load of units.
Well, it did because, you know, stupid millennials love Harry Potter and don't play actual games because it's
and
like,
it didn't get any DLC, so getting dropped a month after it came out to play it kind of makes sense.
Well, here's the other thing, just to kind of shit on David Zaslav again for a second.
Friend of the podcast.
Okay, let me just talk theoreticals. Let's just say, in theory, that Harry Potter was created by someone who isn't, you know, a PR nightmare. Let's just play with that theory a second.
Wait, as much as we were talking about it, I thought you were about to say pedophile.
That was the most mild way of putting that I had heard. Okay, but continue.
Okay, so let's see. Already at this point, Harry Potter, like, not counting the Fantastic Beast movies, which are fucking ass, but that's besides the point. There's already been like eight movies. You know, the Harry Potter movies came out from 2001 to 2011. So 10 movies. So 8 movies in a decade, which holy shit. Now, let's just go to another media's juggernaut, Star Wars. How they've put what like 13 to 14 movies out in like the 45 years that it's existed. And people are now like, you know, getting franchise fatigue.
Well, to be fair, in those 45 years, we had about 30 of the 35 projects come out in 3 years.
Right, but this actually ties to my point directly. Don't you think people are going to start to get tired of Harry Potter soon? If you're going to put it at like that level?
I don't know how many Harry Potter fans you ran into. I don't think it's possible for them. It's one of those franchises that just, you could poop and spell Harry Potter on it, and they would set it on a mantle. It's one of those that I just don't get the level of devotion.
Right, but if we get like 2 to 3 like different projects in like a year and a 5-year span, that's what I'm saying is like, you know, because basically WB's point now is like Harry Potter's like the only like legitimate franchise that they have left, and hence, you know, everything else involved with it, you know, why that's a big fucking problem. So I mean, honestly, if Harry Potter went away tomorrow, I really wouldn't give a shit, but
same.
Yeah, my like fear is that they're just going to keep pumping more and more stuff out, and then that's just going to be a bad time for anyone who's left at like Warner Brothers or Rocksteady.
Well, I don't think that it's going to get good for anybody at Warner Brothers, even if Harry Potter did die tomorrow.
It's honestly pretty sad that Rocksteady is forced to be a support studio now, like you said.
Yeah, supposedly it does suck, but I guess this is to ride out the rest of Suicide Squad's 1-year plan, whatever, and then they're going to pitch a new game. God, I hope they don't turn into a 100% support studio. People that have never played those Batman games, legitimately, right now, I believe, oh man, 2015 did Arkham Knight come out?
Yep,
I think so.
That game looks like it came out on current gen consoles, and it came out on last gen, early in the gen.
Yep.
It is a fucking work of mythical just hoodoo that game looked as good as it did. There's stuff on current gens with Unreal Engine 5 that don't look as good as Arkham Knight did. Like, I still don't know if I know a game that has better rain effects or, like, just pavement effects than Arkham Knight does.
No, I mean, I agree that it would genuinely suck if Rocksteady becomes a support studio. I mean, it's great that Warner Brothers isn't throwing them under the bus, which honestly kind of pushes the theory that this was more like a Rocksteady decision than like a WB decision from like the rumors we've heard.
Yeah. Which is shitty, because and like Sefton Hill and the guys that used to be there did I believe they're called 100-star games. They recently got a deal with Xbox to publish their first game, so we'll see what that turns into to see what they're wanting to do. Because like again, from the rumors that we discussed last time, it sounded more and more like it was their decision to do that, and then they kind of just left when the project was a giant trash fire.
Yeah.
Which I didn't but yeah. Anyway, so let's go on to a slightly better thing before we get back to a worse thing. So this kind of, I had to laugh a little bit about this, just a touch. I'm a Horizon fan, and it got the living shit kicked out of it by Elden Ring. So watching people get butthurt about Elden Ring kind of made me laugh just a little bit. Eurogamer gave Elden Ring's DLC a 3 out of 5 because it is too hard for it to be fun. And it's just like all the other reviewers, and it was a good swath of other reviewers were like, best DLC, whatever. It's like the highest rated DLC of all time. Now it even took over, I believe it's called Blood and Wine from Witcher. It overtook it recently.
Yeah.
It was a swath of just really great, wonderful Eurogamer. I'm not that good. It sucks, bro. It's pretty much what it all looked like.
Maybe next time don't give it to the person that doesn't play Souls-likes?
Maybe. It's like it's one of those things where it's just like, what were you expecting?
I would probably say the same thing. I would probably be like, you know what? It's not for me. I threw my controller against the wall. It broke. I'm done. We're out. You know? But I wouldn't be like, you know, that's why I would say, like, I'm not gonna be reviewing that for the site.
Exactly. You don't get the guy who likes single-player games and only them to review Call of Duty multiplayer. There's just like, you just don't do shit like that. I mean, and I understand you should get differing opinions, but on a Souls-like, you don't give it to the guy that, I don't mean to be whatever, like maybe his favorite game's Mario Party. Like, you don't...
It's fine.
I mean, that's like throwing them to the wolves.
Listen, if I were to review Fortnite, it would just be big capitals and just one word, and it would just be fuck all the way down.
Pretty much.
That would be
all right.
That would be my one word review.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, just to go on a side tangent, so because this is kind of like on topic, but it's not. So, Brock, A&N actually had their best and worst of like spring 2024 anime season, and two of like the comments said that the worst one was Girls Band Cry, but they said it was the worst because you can't legally just watch it, and people just don't understand like sarcasm. And they're like, oh, I'm rewarding like clickbait shit, but the point is, it's like the same shit. I'm like, people don't fucking read.
Dude, it reminds me of like whenever you show like an Onion article to people and then they take it as real.
They take it serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst part is about that though, the more life goes on, the more it's harder to tell.
Yeah, I don't know how the Onion actually even like exists anymore, to be honest.
They're trying.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Our next couple of topics lead directly into each other, and it kind of comes back to Elden Ring a little bit. Alone in the Dark developer Pisces Interactive has been shut down by Embracer Group after Kiona. Why?
Oh, wait, you're asking me? Okay, on the
what?
spot.
No,
sorry.
Guess. Why do you think they shut it down after Alone in the Dark was released?
Well, because obviously it didn't meet the sales expectations. Because Alone in the Dark is such a sales juggernaut of a series that they expected it to move millions of copies.
I want to have one of those freaking Pee-wee's Playhouse phrase of the day things go off.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. We should have like a special like emote button that whenever that goes off, it just like
We need
dings.
an emote wall.
Yes, good lord. But all right, so, and to go on to the next thing, which I'm going to bring up how Nintendo handled this exact kind of stuff earlier.
It's sad that another developer just gets shuttered for, no good reason.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And then from Software's Hideaki Miyazaki on game industry layoffs. I want to say that it's not something I would wish on the staff from Software in a million years. As long as the company is my responsibility, that's something I will not let happen. Also, I can't remember who the Nintendo president was that halved his salary so that they wouldn't have to do layoffs.
Was that not Iwata?
It might have been Iwata.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, the
Toru
late
Iwata.
Awata.
Yeah, I think it was.
It just kind of blows my mind, the difference in mindsets of gaming developers.
Yeah.
And who actually likes gaming.
Yeah.
It just, ugh. All right. Mike, we're getting through this gaming stuff as fast as we can, buddy. I swear to God. I know you've been pretty silent, having a lot to comment on, but we're almost there. All right, so people that don't know who Sweet Baby Inc. is, I'm hearing more and more about them as we go on. It's essentially a PR mafia who basically tries to bully. God, explaining them is hard. They basically try to run a protection racket on video games like a mafia would on small-time stores in movies, where essentially they try to get games to hire them for that's funny. But they basically try to get companies to sign them on to PR correct and make their game more acceptable to the masses, and then extort companies for millions of dollars because they did work for them. That's whenever you hear Sweet Baby Inc. come up, it's that they did like consulting, and like no one really hires them. They kind of just badger their way onto things because they basically say, if you shut down or say you didn't want to work with us, we'll say that your game is not acceptable and whatever. It's weird. But anyway, Black Myth Wukong is refused to be extorted for $7 million by Sweet Baby Incorporated. The reason why the team behind Black Myth Wukong, a game that me and Kyo and I are looking very forward to, looks amazing, has been subjected to a persistent sexist attacks and slander since their first promotional video is because they consistently refused political correctness guidance and rejected extortionate guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these political correctness teams. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and America. They interfere with works like Assassin's Creed, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, and God of War by pushing for politically correct female protagonists. These changes are direct results of interference of the guidance of such teams. Game Science team refused to communicate with these groups and reject their interference. Most importantly, they refused to pay the exorbitant $7 million in guidance fees.
What?
This is a direct reason why they are being attacked and slandered. Some justifications are based on the team's lack of diversity or representation in a game about a monkey fighting gods. Anyway, on with the statement, which doesn't align with political correctness standards. A typical example of the article by a major IGN writer criticizing Hogwarts Legacy for refusing to evaluate or promote it due to its alleged lack of political correctness. So, Sweet Baby has been a problem for a while, and basically anyone who sees Sweet Baby Inc. Incorporated and stuff basically assumes that there's going to be some actually woke bullshit put into games. Like, they're about the only time I've seen the word woke be put into something and it be correct. Because they're, basically political guidance mafia members that will slander you for saying that you're not looking out for the betterment of the modern audience if you don't hire them. I don't know how a company like this exists and it's not actually the mafia. Like, I don't get it. It's weird.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
you're trying to put political correctness in a game, an action game based off Journey to the West. What are you trying to politically correct? Should he say that war is bad in the middle of fighting Buddha? Like, what are we... Like, do you want him to show if he's voting Democrat or Republican in the middle of it? Like, what are we doing here? It's a monkey fighting gods. What are we doing? We don't even know if Wukong talks in this game.
Honestly, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. No, either. The only thing I know about Sweet Baby Inc. is that it was founded by some former Ubisoft devs. And I don't think like a consulting firm like in itself is an inherently like bad idea.
No.
Like I think that it is a problem. And in theory, this would be a good thing. And I think a lot of people like around this are just being fucking weird because they're like racist about it.
Raid moments. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact like thing that's going down with them, and I feel like in this particular instance, it's like two assholes that are just like fighting each other.
I wish I could honestly tell you that I understood what the actual... Did I get rated? Holy crap, I did get rated. Oh. Yeah, okay. That's the weird thing. When we're doing this on StreamYard, I don't know if I got rated. Unknown, thank you so much for a raid. I greatly appreciate it. That was very kind of you. I'm sorry that I was confused right away. There's another one? What's going on?
Wow.
Thank you so much. Holy crap.
Gosh.
Hi, Fennec Fox. Fennec Fax, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. That was super kind of you.
And you're all walking into this
chaos.
background.
Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. That was super kind. Game night just ended. Double raid, Crystal. Holy crap! Hi, everyone. Hello. Holy shit.
Take a deep breath, dude. You're good. You're good.
I don't get rated. This stuff doesn't happen to me. So when it does, it makes me really happy.
And on zeroing out, that's even cooler.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Like, I'm going to be lucky if I really have over 4 people watching me. So anyone that watches this helps you with raids, anything in this podcast, stuff like that. I know I'm getting sentimental. Thank you. I know there's more important people than me, but I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you all so much. We're going to do shout outs for you both, by the way. We're going to do shout outs right now.
Yes. Okay, so we have to go back in here. Fennec Facts, unknown exactly. Crystal, unknown, everybody. Thank you so freaking much. And thank you for Kiona, who's handling that in the back end, because I don't know how to do it through StreamYard. It's one of the only...
I think we got to have it. Yeah, we got to have it set up a little bit better. But anyway, unknown, Crystal, we're gonna definitely follow you as well. So thank you so much. We're gonna drop a follow for you.
Yes, absolutely. That will be done as soon as we're done recording. Thank you so much. That is the only thing with StreamYard that I hate. It doesn't have like direct correlation with stuff like that. All right, so moving on. This is freaking ridiculous. The Switch is 1.5 million units away from the PS2's US sales.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's and also I believe it was in the last podcast or the one before that the Switch has made more money for Nintendo than their last 35 years as a business.
That's the insane part.
It is.
It's even more ridiculous. We'll probably get to this a little bit later about the last Direct, which had like zero expectations because it's one of the last Directs for like this console gen. And then they... I mean, we'll get more into it later, but...
Yes, absolutely. It was unfreaking real. I couldn't get over that. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna show that up so that everybody can see that.
Yes.
Yes, it's exactly. Absolutely.
We're kind of used to it. I'm kind of used to it now from the other streams that I'm involved
Absolutely.
in.
The Switch has been out for 7 years, and the
Yeah.
PS3 came out
True.
6 years behind the PS2. That's
Mm.
nuts. That just that when that Switch, dude, when when they finally drop the Switch 2, the Earth is gonna come to a stop.
Mhm.
And people giving them crap that the supposed specs for the Switch or Switch 2 being as powerful as a PS4. I don't think y'all understand how hard that actually is to make in a handheld.
I'm
Like,
like,
there's
that's gonna run like 90% of games. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yes, it's ridiculous. But all right, Mike, we're through the gaming news, buddy. All right,
Until we have to talk about Nintendo Direct later.
yes, we're gonna get to that later. Yes, I know. All right, so okay. Now we mentioned K Crusader earlier. Did I not? Did I get the wrong voice? Okay, all right. Anyway, so K Crusader voice cast. Here we go. As we mentioned earlier, yeah, it's something I have to figure out. Eventually, I'm going to find a way to do this.
I can help you with that. I can help you with that if you need.
I really appreciate it. Eventually, I want to figure out to get overlays and do this really nicely. Just StreamYard just works really nice for right now.
Of course. It's okay, Brock. No worries.
All right. So as far as the voice cast goes, we have Christina Ricci as Catwoman. Dietrich Bader is Harvey Dent.
That's excellent casting.
Couldn't have gave me a million guesses, and I wouldn't have gotten that. Okay, IMDb, why are you failing me? Why are you doing this? Okay, let's get. Come on, let's get down. All right, Ricci is voicing. Christina Ricci is voicing Selena Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Chung is Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, which this version of Harley Quinn looks nuts. Why is there no articles that show this? Well, that's the main cast that's going through it, but again, for replacements for the original people, like, this is nuts that we have a wholly new cast for everyone. Like, not just Kevin's out. Like, we don't have Arlene, who I believe just officially retired from voice acting, so she wouldn't have came back anyway.
Well, she also passed away.
Did she pass? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. My life pre-COVID is gone. My whole brain is shut down for COVID ruined my receptive memory. It's so bad. But the cast in the trailer sounded great. I'm excited. When does this drop again?
August 1st. It's I think all 10 episodes are dropping at once.
Yes.
Yeah, right. and that's right before my birthday, so
nice.
I'm a good birthday girl, and I get Batman. No, but I really like that they did kind of go in a more drastic new direction.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And after the losses that I think came from that sort of era of Batman animated shows, I think it's time to move on, to build something different.
It is.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh, it does suck. It's just that I don't know how the hell you move on from certain stuff like that, because it's hard, and you just, I don't know exactly what to go on with. More of, I'm just glad that we're able to do more things with it. That's all I gotta say from it, because it's
No, and that we're not trying to do voice matches, because I've made it myself clear that Tara Strong's Harley Quinn is just not it.
Yeah, no. I tried to like her version of Harley Quinn. It
It's devolved. It's almost like a parody of itself now, and I just
It was very good in the first 2 Arkham games.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the fuck happened after that.
I'm not.
I
entirely
enjoyed
sure what
her
happened.
work. I enjoyed Tara Strong's work. I to me though, she's like the perfect voice of Batgirl. That's like
She is.
what I think of her
Mhm.
as. So and I think she's very
Definitely is.
good as Harley, or at least was. But I think that like maybe it's just
It's time.
It's just time.
It's just time. I mean,
Mhm.
look, I always have nostalgia for like Mark Hamill's Joker and like all of that, but I think we're going almost 32 years later. Like it's time to move on.
Yeah, it is, and we'll be interested to see what like the next batch, because there's going to be more of Batman animated series as it go on. I'm kind of hoping that Jensen gets it, but if we're going to go with an actor that's already done it, anyone who's watched Young Justice or Under the Red Hood, just give it to Bruce Greenwood. The
Yes.
dude had the same kind of philosophy about voicing him and how he did as Kevin. And he's in my opinion, the next best thing. The guy that does it, and I can't remember his name, that does it in like the like DC Comics animated series where they basically were just doing a DCU but animated. I don't know what they call that.
Jason O'Mara.
It could be. He does all right. I just prefer how Bruce Greenwood does it.
Bruce Greenwood,
But yeah, it's everyone's own.
he did do very, very well, and I think Jason O'Mara was good too. I
Yeah.
liked his take on it.
I liked him, but he's like number 4 or 5 below. Conroy obviously number 1. Bruce Greenwood number 2.
Yes.
And probably Jensen Ackles as number 3.
Yeah, Jensen did
Jensen
well.
shockingly so good.
So good. So good. Before we go on, I just want to I want to give a couple more on the podcast kind of shout outs to the people that followed us.
Yes.
To the people that rated us as well.
Yes.
Because Brock, I know you're not used to, but like
no, I'm not.
I just wanted to say too, like Crystal, Fennec, Unknown, I hope you guys had a great stream, and I hope you guys had great games, whatever you were playing or whatever you were doing, even if it was just chatting or something like that. We wanted to say thank you very much to you, and if you follow Brock, it's totally worth it, because Brock is an awesome dude, and I've known him for years now, and he's amazing. So please do. And if you guys just would like, you can talk about what you guys were doing, and just bring us in on that front as well.
Absolutely. I know that's not exactly a matching
really
topic, but if it's something that you heard or can bring in, absolutely, by all means, show it in. We'll bring up other stuff. We kind of get long in the tooth of these things, so it never goes as short as we want. But yeah, absolutely, everyone, like Kiona said, I'm not used to getting this much into here, so I will get better at it. And I will tell you now, I will respond better when I'm actually doing it through Streamlabs, because I can see it better through Streamlabs, because I love StreamYard, but I don't get the notifications as well.
They all need to talk to each other more.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, now we need to talk about an earth-shattering moment. Unknown doing some doodling in the background. What are you doodling, Fennec? I would not mind seeing some pics, if you would mind. My Twitter is on here if you want to send it that way. All right, so you guys, we need to talk about something that is earth-shattering and can be the most important thing to happen in the new Deadpool movie. We need to talk about it. It's important. Sticky Fingers is playing Blade.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
We are getting the CW Blade. Wow! Now, the real answer is, I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds hates Wesley Snipes. If anyone knows about how Blade 3 worked out.
There was apparently there was a kerfuffle, so to speak.
Kerfuffle is being generous.
The kerfuffling.
Kerfuffle is being very, very, very generous.
You gotta love that it's Sticky Fingers, man. You gotta love that.
I legitimately, until this showed up, forgot that show existed.
Same.
I couldn't even. I couldn't. I was like, "Who's the guy in the background?" Someone's like, "I'm pretty sure that's Sticky Fingers." I'm like, a core memory unlocked. I couldn't even. The fact that that's in there means two things: A, they wanted to have Blade, and they weren't going to have Wesley Snipes; or B, we are about to see some of the dumbest cameos we've seen in our lives in this movie. You're going to see some people get murked that probably got paid like $20,000 to be there for 5 minutes.
Oh, about that, there's so the official Marvel podcast launched earlier this week, I think today even, and Kevin Feige has been saying some things. One of them being that Deadpool and Wolverine will cross over to more Marvel titles than just Loki. So there's going to be a lot of cameos.
Oh boy, yeah, and that's one of those things that like, and the ongoing rumor is that the rumor right now is that Deadpool 3 is going to happen after Secret Wars is done. Howard the Duck, dude. Well, I wouldn't be as shocked as that one since we have Howard. If we get the '86 version of Howard the Duck, yes, but like Howard the Duck,
his full ass puppet too.
Yes. Hopefully the movie doesn't get slammed for multiverse fatigue. I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably the only one where they're going to be happy that it's a multiverse. Because it's going to be stupid on purpose.
I think that's why it won't get slammed for that, because
it's fucking Deadpool.
Exactly. The jokes will come first over any other multiverse.
Yeah, because Deadpool really isn't interested in setting stuff up. They'll be like, we'll set stuff up and be like, ha 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 ha, look, he's dead now, isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha.
And like, I like how you can see, and also just in the better background of the shot, you could just see who I'm assuming is Ray Park right there, because that is Toad. But anyway, yeah, it's
yeah, that is Toad ridiculous.
For sure. All right,
hold on, one more thing before we move on. Another thing that we learned from the Marvel podcast is Marvel will be back at San Diego Comic-Con, which is the same weekend that Deadpool and Wolverine premieres. So nice. that's gonna be a big weekend.
Yeah, because they haven't done a Hall H show in like a
2
hot
years.
minute.
Yeah. Well,
they
had their own presentations, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, and also D23 is happening in August, so...
Yep.
Gotcha. Anyone in the comments, if you had a dream stupid cameo for that movie that could be physically possible, what would it be? Put it in the chat what your dream stupid cameo would be. Anyone here? I'm telling you right now, I want levels of Sticky Finger stupid here, because now we're getting it.
Nicholas Hammond from the old Spider-Man show.
Ooh.
Oh boy, that's good.
Is the actor who played Spider-Man in the Japanese show still alive?
I think he is.
Can we get him to do it?
No, you know
Can we
what I
get a
want?
Japanese Spider-Man cameo?
You know what I want, and I don't know if it will be possible. but Sony and Marvel are playing nice to each other. This movie starts out with Deadpool having his birthday party. What I kind of want, I can't remember his name, but the landlord from Spider-Man 3 knocking on his door asking him for rent.
Oh, yes.
God.
Yes.
Frank Welker as Iceman from Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
No, they should just... that'd be great. Just have it in like a bad like CGI like Iceman, and just have him like Frank Welker doing like the most obnoxious voice possible. I mean, it's possible. Frank Welker was also in the Transformers movies, so
yeah, that man. Oh, what else could there? I'm trying to honestly think. Also, the fact that in the last trailer they have a remix of Black and Yellow called Red and Yellow, I lost my shit.
Oh my god.
They know what they're doing.
Like, they're such big fans of this property that they got the dudes that made the Deadpool rap from the Deadpool game to make raps for the first two movies. People that don't know that, though that first song from Deadpool 1 is a remix of the song from the Deadpool game. That is fantastic, by the way, and people should have bought more of.
Yes.
Because it's kind of one of the games that sort of helped kill High Moon Studios.
Oh, God, yeah.
Whoops.
Dude, Nolan North was a great Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely.
Even in that Hulk versus Wolverine animated movie thing, or short, or whatever you want to call it, because it was kind of a short, honestly, but, like, even in that, like, he was an excellent Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I love when crap like this happens. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's funny. Star Wars fans are review bombing a 2008 movie called The Acolytes instead of The Acolyte on Rotten Tomatoes. Star Wars fans will never see heaven. Who put that there?
That was me.
You said don't deserve women. I made this background specifically for that.
Good lord.
Oh, man.
Good lord. But yeah,
good
I love when
lord.
crap like that happens where they don't understand what they're actually review bombing. It's a very rare thing, but it's amazing when it happens.
That is amazing.
I just had to get that in there. Now, this doesn't affect as many people as I think this might only affect me and Bree, and I don't know if it will because I don't know what anime she's into, but I became a giant fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because of my buddy that always mentioned just some of the stupid shit that happened. And he told me some of the minor grade stupid shit, and I learned more about it because he had only read parts of the manga, and then I started watching the shows. And I don't know if I've ever ran into a show where I could tell you major spoilers of the entire shows from all their climactic moments, and you could still watch the show, and I wouldn't have spoiled anything.
Yeah,
That
that sounds
takes
about
talent.
JoJo.
It's just so dumb. Like, you couldn't figure out how it got there. You physically, if you tried, couldn't figure out how it got there. Like, okay, the end of part 4, there is 2 people talking about the comic book pages of a young boy's face. No, 2 people talking about trying to find a serial killer that swapped his head, while a block away, a guy has a bomb attached to his friend while he's fighting another stand user who has a plant cat shooting explosive bubbles at it.
Oh, Araki.
Of course.
I also
As
like
a
I want part 7
reality.
so bad because part 7 just it's like the best kind of stupid.
The best kind of stupid to where Araki went, I needed to reset the universe because JoJo's got too ridiculous. He then starts out part 7 with a horse race for the body parts of Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
There is no hyperbole in that statement whatsoever. I am not joking.
And the main antagonist of that part is the president of the United States, who wants the parts of Jesus to help America because he's so patriotic.
Of course. Why wouldn't
And
you?
we're gonna get on to why I brought that up in a second. But one of the most messed up comic panels I've ever seen, or manga panels, is the parts you have to find. The last part is the head of Jesus, and it only shows up in the presence of, I believe it's a virgin pure woman, and it shows up and the person becomes pregnant with that body part. And you know how, like, when you're pregnant, when you'll feel like a baby hand press against the stomach, like you'll see the imprint? It's the head of Jesus pressing against the side. And you know what makes it worse? Or what makes it weirder? It has the crown of thorns on.
Good lord.
In the womb, and anyone who looks up that panel, it's ridiculous. And then the woman turns into the head of Jesus. I don't need to explain to you how that all happens. Again, I'm not spoiling anything when I tell you this stuff. Brock, hope your pastor doesn't listen to these. My pastor knows full well about the stupidity of anime. He thinks it's funny. He knows full well about all the anime that I've watched. He's just like, that's Japan.
It
I want
truly
to- hey.
is, though.
I'm going to tell you right now, not to get political. My youth pastor is the person who I changed my last name to, and is the definition of what a good Christian should be. He's not the fun police. My Christian youth pastor is the person who introduced me to the movie Snatch. If I need to tell anyone the definition about how he's not, oh no, you can't watch that because there's the swear words in it. There's a difference between being Westboro Baptist Church Christian and being an actual Christian. That's just how I'm going to throw that out there. Because one actually follows what God would like you to do, and the other one uses an added excuse to harass, kill, and just all around make the lives miserable of people who don't do the things that they like.
Yep.
There's major differences. A side note, I was really, really scared when I heard the word Westboro Baptist Church was doing all these weird things when I was a very young child. Because there's a town 5 miles from me called Westboro.
Oh no.
And I went to that church for a service on a Sunday, and then this comes up on the news of them like threatening to bomb abortion clinics, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, they're these people, and then my mom's like, it's not the same people, honey. It's something different. I'm like, okay. It's just like
I was
so
watching.
scared.
I was watching this video of a guy who is going like retro game shopping in Japan or something,
no.
and he likes to play. Oh God. And so he likes to play these Japanese video game commercials in between like his little interstitials and stuff, like just inserts them in between like him cutting the video and stuff. And one of them was like this like super dimensional fighting game or something, and then up comes the word Jesus, and that was it. And I just cracked up. I died laughing. It was so funny.
That's fantastic. All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
Why I brought up JoJo's and then went on that tangent, because I don't think I can talk about JoJo's without going on a tangent. It's kind of impossible. Hiroyuki Amori, the executive producer of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, passed away. And that makes me so sad. Like, he's the guy that suggested David Productions, the studio that has knocked it out of the park with that anime. It's just really sad that, like, I went from, like, thinking it was just going to be funny ha-has to legitimately being one of my favorite media properties ever. Mm-hmm. And especially because of how David Productions has handled it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, they've really done a good job from what I've seen.
And here's the best part. On Castle Super Beast, like, they talk about JoJo's, and then, like, Pat makes a joke about Woolie's like, yeah, they've really mastered the art of adaptation. And Pat goes, yeah, they go, they look at the anime page and they put it on the screen. It's just, like, they literally, like, don't skip anything. All they do sometimes is put events that were out of order, like timeline wise, and then switch them up a little
and make like some minor changes for like copyright reasons,
obviously, where they have to. And then like they also have a Rocky there helping them out. Like in part 4, the bomb dude that I mentioned, he didn't know who the villain of part 4 was going to be until way later on. So in the anime, he just went to the studio, was like, hey, can you like just show this guy having lunch with a severed woman's hand?
That's still like one of the most haunting things in like JoJo, which is saying a lot. It is like so unsettling.
For people that don't know, the villain of part 4 in JoJo likes to sever women's hands and then like basically date them. It's weird. What? Okay. Yeah, it's like, I can't tell you enough how, now I'm blanking on his name. What's
Kira.
the villain's name? Kira. Yoshikage Kira might be one of my favorite all-time villains in media, period. Like, it's unreal. That dude is just, and then also the fact that they got Wesker to voice him, David, now I'm DC Douglas in the English. Just
and he kills it too. Like...
out of the park. He kills it. And also, now I'm blanking on his name. He passed away like 3 years ago. Voice actor.
Billy Kometz.
Yeah. Billy Kometz voiced Josuke.
He was
and
so
did
good
such
at him.
a good job.
He was also such a fun streamer too. God,
He
I
was.
miss him.
I do too, and I didn't realize about how much I would love him for Josuke until after he passed away, which is what sucks. He's one of those actors that I just wanted to like actually thank in person for how good of a job they did. It's just, yeah. All right. I'm gonna save that partially for last. The next subject we got in there. All right. I want to get your guys' opinions on a rule that Toho has basically said they have for all Godzilla movies. Toho reveals that the rules for all future Godzilla project is that Godzilla is not allowed to die or prey on people or things.
Isn't that what I mean, other than the first part speculatively, isn't that literally what -1 was?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how that all kind of ties in. It's weird. Weird as being general. I don't know.
Well, I guess what they're trying to say is, and I noticed this in -1 when just minor spoilers for that. Hopefully everyone's seen it by now. But when they're on the island, Godzilla goes after them like Jurassic Park style. But notice that he never eats them. So I think that's what they mean. I think that's what they mean is that Godzilla is not allowed to eat people or like, you know, be predatory like Jaws. I guess that's what they meant, but it's still like a really weird statement to make.
It is.
Yeah.
At least it keeps us from
really
getting
weird
anything.
statement. Yeah.
Keeps us from getting anything like the 2000 Matthew Broderick.
Oh God, it was 98.
I love that. Have any of you seen Godzilla Final Wars?
Oh yeah, with Zilla, with Zilla, yeah.
They got the rights to Zilla for literally 2 minutes to throw him into the Sydney Opera House and destroy him. It might have been the most petty thing I've ever seen in a film.
And you know what was weird is I remember like for whatever reason when I was 6 I was like so hyped for Godzilla. I wanted to see it, but I couldn't see it in the movie theater because it was sold out. So I saw all the Parent Trap instead. And man, did I dodge a fucking bullet.
You had a much better time. All right. Speaking of, I don't know if this next subject is dodging a bullet or not, but anyone comment in the chat if you think that this would have been good? I don't know how I feel about this. Adam McKay said in an interview recently that he tried to direct The Boys in a trilogy of movies but couldn't get it greenlit in a pre-MCU Hollywood. He said it came down to being out in 2008, not 2018. I just don't think they were ready for it yet. Adam McKay, I honestly think, could have done a halfway decent job at a Boys trilogy. Now, if he did the same level of script changing that Kripke has done. Because anyone who's actually read those comic books, it is the most edgelordy shit I've ever seen in my life. And this
it really is.
The Boys might be the best adaptation of any written form of media ever.
Yeah, I don't think The Boys would have worked in a pre MCU world.
Oh God, no.
Weird.
Is it weird thinking of him directing that, or what exactly did you mean, Fennec? Anyway, go on, guys.
I'm gonna assume what Fennec meant is it's weird. It's weird to condense the 140 issues of the comic into 3 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been an incoherent mess.
And honestly, I think it would probably have followed the comics a little bit more, maybe. Like I think the way that Eric Kripke and everybody here that's working on The Boys now, I think that they've done a really good job of like sort of like you said, Brock, just adapting it, just updating it, and just adapting it and making it more like
taking a grinder to the edges.
Yeah, as much as it is a shock value show, and we all know that it is. I mean, that's part and parcel of the experience of watching it, but also the fact that it's like I almost want to say palatable in a way, but I don't know that that's the right word. But you know what I mean by that, right? It's like it's just something
they made the for people that don't know, Garth Ennis fucking hates superheroes outside of the Punisher because he's not a superhero to him.
No.
The reason he made The Boys is because he hates superheroes, and the comic book is 1,000 times worse for doing that. And it's just that, like, The Boys are way worse than what they do to the, and it's just.
Oh yeah.
It did a good job of showing like what superheroes could be like if they were intolerable douchebags.
Yeah.
Like, this is a better version of what Garth was trying to basically hater bait into. I don't know the exact, like, it's rageful masturbation is what The Boys was. I don't know any other better way to do it, but like, it's just, I don't know. Like, as far as the director goes, I think Adam McKay would have been an okay pick.
Yeah, I could see.
I
him
mean,
doing
if
something with
we're
it,
talking
for sure.
2008, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, do you think we would have got Will Ferrell as Homelander?
Oh my god.
Oh no, I don't even want to think about that.
I'm just thinking it's
Yo.
Adam McKay, man. Like,
The fact that I could like see it.
John C. Reilly would have been Soldier Boy.
God.
Brad Pitt is Homelander. Oh,
Oh wow.
Actually, I can see
yo,
that.
I kind of love that. I'm telling you right now, I don't think anyone is outdoing Anthony Starr.
No.
Brad
No.
Pitt's not bad.
My favorite thing
Not
about Anthony
bad.
Starr is the fact that he just gets up there at conventions and is like to all the people who actually really like Homelander and find and sympathize with him.
No.
No,
Don't.
No.
no. And I love how everyone is now collectively going, hey, that guy's making fun of me. Like, it took till season 4?
You didn't realize that yet? You know, no.
Like, I thought it was like Evangelion levels of subtle, but like, come on.
Hateful levels of subtle.
Like, I said it multiple times in our Fresh Takes for Evangelion that Anno had the subtlety sledgehammer. Like, what are we doing here, guys? But okay. All right, what are we going through? The next, you got another smaller one here. Infinity War and Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo have a $300 million budgeted Netflix movie called The Electric State coming out later this year, starring Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ki Hyun Kwan, Giancarlo Esposito, Anthony Mackie, and Brian Cox. And there was a cool, you guys talk. I'm going to see if I can bring up that that promo art.
I'm just gonna say this. There's no reason why any movie should cost more than 150 million.
Yeah.
Once in a while you can push it to 200 if you're James Cameron, but 300.
Yeah, because he
No.
spends all that $200 million on like tech, like you know, like the money's actually going to the movie and not to into some like weird like finance.
I will admit, whatever that thing is looks awesome.
But a
I am
$300
intrigued
million
by
Netflix movie, like, are you fucking shitting me? And no offense to the Russos, like, they're great directors. Like, they did some good stuff for Arrested Development, and they're competent, but all their shit, like, outside of, like, Endgame is, like, not good.
It's what like, ever since I, like, back when they used to do movie talks and stuff like that, and John Campea did mailbag episodes, I got a question in, and he completely agreed with me. Ever since Pacific... I need to look this up again because I'm always wrong. Pacific Rim budget. $180 million. That is one of the most gorgeous films I've seen in my entire life. And it is built on giant robots fighting kaiju.
Which,
and it cost $180.
Which makes sense because there's a lot of CGI in there.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous looking CGI, including CGI with most of them fighting in water. That doesn't help your situation.
And also, we're talking like over a decade ago, like water sims are like nowhere near where they are now.
No.
Like that shit was expensive.
But that's the difference between having a director that knows how to spend every cent that they're given, and then you just have people that I don't know where the money goes. Like, wasn't freaking the Lone Ranger like
250, I think.
That and like just John Carter, and those came out. Didn't those both come out in like 2012?
They were around the
No.
same
John Carter was
like-
2012. The Lone Ranger was 2013.
Okay,
Okay,
I was
but-
thinking around the same time.
I know. I mean, those are two major like bombs, like bomb with like a capital B. And the thing about Netflix movies is like rarely any of them, maybe outside of the animated ones, anyone talks about like for over a week. So I'm like, why is this happening? I don't understand. Like, why does this exist? Why are we spending $300 million on like Netflix movies? Like, like literally, what are we fucking doing?
Well, it's one of those things where, like, we've talked about it many times with Game Pass about how things are deemed not successful because they didn't make money on a service where they didn't pay to buy something. What do you gain from that on Netflix?
Yeah, because you're not going to gain.
Even better. Yeah, no, instead of buying movie theaters, we're building fun complex. Which, by the way, one of those Netflix house monstrosities is opening near me, and I think I might do an opening just to see how much of a train wreck it is.
I have no idea what you're just a Netflix theater.
No. It's not a theater.
It's a funplex. Do you remember? do y'all remember?
Spin the chair. Spin the chair, Brock.
Do y'all remember Disney Quest at all?
We were speaking about pedophiles earlier. What sounds more like a pedophile trap than calling something a funplex?
Well, do y'all remember like Disney Quest at all?
Go ahead.
So that basically it's this, but for like adults. So I guess they'll have like a Bridgerton like tea room, and there's like it's supposed to be a Stranger Things thing because Netflix will literally invest in everything but fucking movie theaters and physical media because what the fuck?
How? And I didn't think we were going to mention pedophiles as much in a single podcast, but how can you be an adult and then go, hey, babe, let's go to the funplex?
It's so bad.
Brock, have you seen like the Netflix house?
What are we doing?
Like, have you seen this? Like, they only have the outside. So the one near me is going to be in like a former Lord and Taylor's location, but it's like huge. It's going to be like 4 stories.
What is
Oh man.
my brain is losing. Oh, that looks worse every time. Netflix.
It's called Netflix House because it's just Reed Hastings is a fucking idiot. I'll just say it here now.
I will admit, at least it kind of looks like what a movie theater would be. So,
But there's no
It
movies.
looks like one, but no.
at least doesn't look child rapey.
God.
Why are we? Next is even releasing their own brand of. Okay, so is it just going to be Trader Joe's? Like, what are we?
Netflix will do everything but release physical media and like buy a movie theater to actually show some of their movies.
Like, thank God G Kids is getting a hold of some of this shit like Arcane.
Oh, and also and Dawn to Dawn, which
yes, we can. All right, I don't want to talk about Netflix anymore. Talk about Dawn to Dawn because I need to get away from this fun. I hate it. I hate every minute of it.
Well, Brock. Hey, Brock. Do you love legendary MILFs?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's
Who doesn't is the correct answer.
Well, let me
say straight.
Well, let me tell you. The grandma in Dawn to Dawn is like the MILF to end all MILFs. All will kneel before her She is the waifu of the year. Have you ever seen her? Have you guys watched the trailer?
I watched the trailer. This is not the conversation I was expecting.
Oh.
But anyway, I've read a lot of the manga. It's if you like JoJo's, like you'll like Dandadan because it's like that same kind of level of like ridiculous, like what the fuck is happening?
Oh my god, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's
I'm looking it up right now. You are absolutely right.
yeah, it's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
Agreed.
the fact that Science Star is working on this, and
That just makes too much sense.
and they also, because the composer of Chainsaw Man also did Devilman Baby, he's coming back to do the Crimeberry. Look, Crunchberry.
Crimeberry.
Like this stream's been going on for over 2 hours, and I've been editing video for like almost a week straight. But anyway, he's involved with doing the music for that, and basically it's like all-star cast, and it is looking like this might be the next big thing in shonen, which I don't really do too much Shonen Jump anymore unless it's like something that really pops out. But considering that like in a couple weeks My Hero Academia is ending, I feel like this is going to be the next thing to fill like the void and becoming like the next like super popular thing.
Well, that and Demon Slayer is ending too.
Well, I mean, Demon Slayer's manga's been done for like a couple of years.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the animation thing's ending, and then it's going to the movie.
Right, so it's like positioned perfectly, and also it's the manga is very much match her freak of like manga, and the fact that that's really popular right now, it's like just the perfect storm of like everything going its way.
Yes. Yeah. It anime is going to be getting interesting in a while because a lot of the big runners that have been going for a while, like Mob Psycho 100 ended. Again, My Hero's coming to an end. Demon Slayer's coming to an end. It's going to be interesting what the new big three of the next whatever is coming, but and a lot of stuff.
I have a feeling I know what the big three would be now.
If you say Baruto, I'm going to slap you.
Oh no!
No.
I was gonna say Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, and
How much longer does Spy Family have?
I think it has at least another season coming.
I just didn't know as far as material if it had enough. Well, Spy Family's going to stay, but Chainsaw Man, I'm enjoying it. I just think sadly not as many people clicked with it as they wanted to.
Well, because it's like it's very dark and it's uncomfortable, but in like a good way, and I don't feel like
Which is the weirdest thing ever. Everyone saw the promos and they're like, "This looks really fucked up. I can't wait to watch it." And then they saw it and they're like, "This is really fucked up. I don't know if I want to watch it." What did you think you were watching? About a guy who wants to be dominated by the hot redhead and has a chainsaw coming out of his face. What did you expect?
No, they're used to their typical shonen power fantasies, or love and friendship, and we have the big epic battles. Not when shit, gets fucking real. They're like, no, just go back, return to sender.
Good. Yeah.
I now
honestly,
can
if you
honestly say
want-
that I relate to Chainsaw Man.
You want to be stepped on?
Yes.
If you want to watch Delicious in Dungeon,
Delicious in Dungeon, yes.
That's good. Yeah.
You know what's going to be part of the next big three? If that Planet of the Apes thing that Trigger wants to get
I need that so bad.
that I need in my life immediately.
Oh man.
But all right,
But no,
Yeah.
anime's in like a super like interesting like place now, and also I'm still gonna bitch for the billionth time because the finale's tomorrow. The fact that Toei didn't fucking have anyone pick up Girls Band Cry, and I have to look for fan subs in the year of our Lord 2024 is ridiculous.
Hopefully, like Netflix picks it up and does something with it.
But here's the weird thing. There's apparently official like English subtitles in fucking Indonesia, and also France has like the subtitle rights to it. It is like the weirdest thing.
What? What?
I know.
This is 2024. We can't keep doing this.
Like, there's legitimate, like, fan sub drama in 2024.
I don't. Okay. I don't even. I just don't even. I don't know what to tell you. I legit don't know what to tell you.
It was at this moment that Brock realized the words have escaped him.
Like, I remember back in the day when you had to sacrifice a virgin to watch Evangelion if you wanted to. Like, I remember those days. Like, it was a thing. Like, it's still shocking to me that I can just walk onto a shelf and see a Blu-ray of Evangelion. Like, that literally shocks me whenever I see it. Even more so now that the world is determining that, you know, physical media doesn't need to exist. Oh boy, you Best Buys look fucking desolate now. I had to be in one the other day.
Yeah, I can't even.
Yeah, it's, man, we just don't have the good old days of ghost stories getting the best English dubs.
The best.
I still have only seen certain scenes. I am one day going to sit down and get through that, but oh my god.
Yeah, I think I've sat through like most of it.
That is the greatest.
How is your filthy sub so bad that you just hand it over and go, we do not care what you do?
So from what I understand of Ghost Stories specifically, what happened was it was supposed to be like this really big popular show, and it just didn't sell well.
Yeah, and they just literally dumped it on what I'm going to assume was Crunchyroll Steps at the time, and just went and.
I think it was actually ADV that
did it.
ADV.
You're correct. ADV. And they just went. It literally told them, because we got to talk with Monica Rial, one of the main actresses that's in it, and I'm going to assume why the reason the Vic Mignogna line was. But anyway, we got to talk to her. I was like, what in the actual hell happened with that dub? I've never seen a person more excited at a con to talk about something. She's like, oh! But she's just like, no, they literally came in and said, basically day of, we got to pick what the hell we said as long as it matched the lips. Like, it was just, they didn't know what they were doing every day, and it was the best, like one of the best experiences you ever had recording. This is coming from the woman who gets to be Bulma. Like, it's just, ay. It was true that dub was so popular in Japan that they redubbed it into. I hope that's true.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think I heard that they did do something like that for a late night block. I don't know if it's true or not.
Did they?
I would hope that's true.
How would I ask that in Google? Did they redub Ghost Stories in Japan after it? Why everyone thinks the cult? If you could find a reasonable link or something for me to look into that, let me know. It's really hard to exactly search that. But why was Ghost Stories dub considered funny? Did you watch it?
Did you watch the clip?
It's also totally a dub that could not exist.
Oh god, no.
Oh, god,
it's funny. Well, also not only that, it is so clearly like 2005, like with the references to like Bush.
Yes.
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 Oh yeah. I remember his quiet little funny statements he would make. Touch me. So sweet, love it. Touch me harder.
Touch me harder.
Oh, you are so stupid. I hope to God you're a dumb.
Also, we can't be together not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Some of the shit they say.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's
so
bad.
bad.
It's like that one line. It's like, you're one of those Vic Mignogna types, aren't you? Anyway.
My favorite thing was watching those guys, like a bunch of dudes on YouTube and stuff, and they were like, "Okay, so we've heard this stuff is really funny. We've never seen it before, and we're totally gonna just do a drinking game every single time that they make a naughty joke. We're gonna take a drink." And they were,
and then they died.
They
That was alcohol poisoning.
That was the moment he knew he fucked up.
Yep.
But it was just oh my goodness, it was just one of the I just couldn't believe it existed. I always thought it was just bullshit that someone was telling me, but no, it was real. Ghost Stories crawled so the abridged series could walk.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
All right, so we were going to talk a little bit more about the Nintendo Direct, but we're getting pretty late in. We just have to mention that, and I'm going to preface this.
Yeah.
Until it's in a Switch, in my hands, and I'm playing it, I still don't believe this game exists. But Metroid Prime 4 got a release date.
Prime 4 is real. And it looks great. And it's definitely going to be a cross-gen game.
I don't know if it's going to be cross-gen. I think it might be a Switch 2 release port that they sell the system with.
It's definitely a cross-gen because I don't think they would have announced it otherwise. I think it's going to be like a Breath of the Wild situation where it started out as a Wii U exclusive, but it also...
Did Breath of the Wild go on the Wii U?
Yes, it did.
It did.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
No, but this is definitely going to be...
Existed.
Yeah, Prime 4 is definitely going to be like this console gen's Breath of the Wild. Like, that is going to be there at launch, whenever that launch is. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking Switch 2 or whatever we're calling it. I think it's going to be late summer, early fall. Because they want to have it far enough away from Christmas.
I don't know about that. I honestly think that Nintendo is confident enough in their shit to go, we're releasing it at Christmas with the Switch 2 in bundles. If I'm going to be perfectly honest. The only other competition they would have in consoles is the rumored PS5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the latest the Switch 2 would be released would be November.
Well, it could be, just to get it so that they could buy it so that they have them for Christmases.
Yeah.
It could be making... It's just one of those things where that thing's going to murder anything in its path. We just mentioned that the Switch is 1.5 away from the PS2's record.
And it probably still, I mean, and the Switch, it's probably going to still have like at least another 5 years of support, realistically.
Absolutely. They're going to release another version of it somehow, and that will just cap off that 1.5 they need. I know people that have like 5 Switches.
Well, they already have the Hyrule Switch Lite for the Zelda game that you could actually play as Zelda, which is blowing my fucking mind.
Yeah, I know. They finally made Zelda a girl. It's
but that game looks like so fun. That actually might be a day one purchase for me because I love kind of like puzzle games, and it's like just so new and different.
Yeah, I'm just so shocked that Linkle never took off. Or no, what was that in Dynasty Warriors? Was that female? The female Link was Linkle, right? Am I wrong? In that Zelda Hyrule Warriors, whatever they made, right? Was it Linkle?
Oh God, I don't even know.
I want to say it was Linkle. I could be 100% wrong. Okay. One day I'm going to tackle this Mass Effect thing when we have more time, because that take has been sitting in there for a while that I want to discuss.
Oh God, yes.
Anyway, we're going to end on a kind of a somber note. Sadly, he lived a full life, but Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's father, for some people that don't know him, passed away at the age of 88. Now, I was just going to say, if we want to take a couple of minutes to talk about our favorite properties that he's been in, that kind of stuff like that. I haven't seen him in as much, so I will let you guys go first. Mike, if you want to start.
I mean, obviously he's probably best known, at least for this generation, as President Snow in the Hunger Games movies.
Yeah,
but he was also in the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and just so many other great films from like the last 40 years.
Yeah. He's first of all just a legendary storied career. Beyond anything that we could really mention here. He's had so many different roles. I remember him as one of the films that I remember him being in was Outbreak. Do you remember that?
Ooh. Yeah.
With Dustin Hoffman and he was the and Morgan Freeman was in that as well, and he was the he was in Final Fantasy the Spirits Within.
That's what I was just about to tell you. I was like,
Exactly
I forgot
right.
all about that. I'm literally looking at the
so-
IMDb right now.
So yeah, I remember him being the villain in Outbreak. He was like the military guy who was all about like just napalm everything and don't try to solve the problem, you know. But he had a great presence on screen. Also just like a fantastic voice, a fantastic delivery, like very recognizable. You could always know that it was him. You always knew when it was Donald Sutherland on screen. Yeah, I a lot of that I think passed down to Kiefer as well, to Kiefer Sutherland as well.
Yeah.
Who also got his career started by playing bad guys, not by playing Jack Bauer, you know, heroic, anti-heroic types. But like, yeah, I mean, you know, Donald Sutherland, great on-screen villain for me, personally speaking. I've always thought of him as that, just because of the roles that he played, not because, you know, I don't know what he was like in real life, obviously, but like, you know, I enjoyed his work. He left a legacy. It's a very sad day whenever somebody that has been around my whole life, you know, in terms of like his work and his acting and everything, like Donald Sutherland was always like a fixture of Hollywood for me. So it really, yeah, it was a moment where I was like, oh, when I heard about this, I was like, oh man, that's so sad to even know. He was also in that Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was waiting
I know.
to see if you were gonna mention that. I was like,
yes, of
if
course.
he forgets, I swear to God, I'm gonna rant him about
apparently he had a lot of problems with Joss Whedon, which
Yeah, you know, like
I
he
hear
tried
you.
to warn us. He tried to
he
warn
tried
us.
to warn us, indeed. Yeah. But you know, but yeah, I mean, also, you know, we got to mention it as well. Like Jacob said, the Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within. Like I said, great voice. Like he really did a lot of. I think he did do quite a bit of voice acting as well, because he just had one of those memorable deliveries and intonations and everything. So yeah, he was actually really good as Dr. Sid. I enjoyed him in that.
Yeah,
And
one of
you-
my favorite things he was in that some people like to forget about was when he was in Horrible Bosses.
Oh,
He was amazing. I think his character's name was Jack, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yep.
yeah, he was
fantastic.
awesome in Horrible
Jack
Bosses.
Pellet was his name.
Jack Pellet. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that was great.
And also, like, another interesting thing about his legacy, like, he was like very politically like active. You know, he was actually a target of like the FBI for like a couple of years, along with him and Jane Fonda. But yeah, and the other story that kind of just came out, it resurfaced from an old interview, that he personally asked to play Snow because he wanted to play like this most fascist, like most evil person possible.
Yep.
Again, a guy who's known for playing villains and being really good at it. He's just kind of like, you know what? That one's right up my alley. Jeez.
Sometimes
But-
the perfect role just like
Kind of
just
pops in your
arrives
lap,
right
man.
at your feet.
Yeah. Unreal. Yeah, it's amazing actor again. I mean, it's sad to say someone passing away, but I'm happy he got to be to 88.
Yeah.
And 88's a long life.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a good life.
it's kind of just another one of the old guard that's passing away, and it's just.
Yeah.
But again, he's got one hell of a talented son that's going to carry that legacy on. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, but all right. That is pretty much it. Again, unknown, and everybody that rated in Fennec. There's some
Crystal.
Crystal.
Whoever else
anyone-
came from that.
Yeah, anyone. There were like 10 people. Anyone that came in. I have been having ungodly, horrible streaming anxiety lately. That made my day. I'm sorry I didn't get a lot of comments. And then again, at some point, and I'll ask Keona can help me with it, I'm going to try to get a way to properly do this better with video and some overlays actually through OBS. But yeah, if I ever don't see you do something like an emote or something weird in here when I'm using StreamYard, I am not ignoring you. I just basically only see comments on the side of here. So I'm kind of restricted if I don't have my phone showing the chat open, which I'll do from now on. But yeah, thank you to everyone that joined in on this. Jake, if it comes in like normal, Heisers, it comes in like normal. Anyone that came in, Manny, yes. Anyone and everyone that joins into this podcast with me. Anyone that's willing to listen to my loud ass rant for a while, along with some other guests about stuff, I greatly appreciate. It means the world to me, and the fact that I think it's episode 14 that I've gotten to do of this thing. I didn't think I'd do 5. So just thank you to everyone that participates in it. It truly made my day today. But all right, everyone, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on all the various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
And on Pandora for some reason. Kiona, where can everybody find you?
You can find me, of course, at the Renegade Pop Culture Twitter page, at Ren Pop Culture, REN Pop Culture, Ren Not Stimpy. You can also find me on Twitter as well, Neoplasmic24. Also on Threads and Instagram at Neoplasmic81. Also on Twitch as well. I'm gonna start getting back into it.
We still need to do a meltdown episode together, Kiona.
Yes.
Huh? Yes.
We still need to do a meltdown episode together. We've been wanting to do it ever since X-Men ended, and we never got to.
Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it soon.
Yes.
But yeah, you can also find me on my friend Red's Twitch as well. That's twitch.tv/somebish BISH named Red.
I love that name.
We do our streams on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, and I'm in voice with her, so you don't get to see all of this. I'm kidding. No one wants to. No one wants to.
They wouldn't be able to handle it. Be too thick. Bree, where can everybody? I was about to say, where can everybody handle you? Bree, where can everybody find
you? Brock, just be honest. Be honest, Brock. Be honest.
Go on here.
Wow.
Okay, I'm on most places at Crazy Lemur, or on Instagram I am. I think it's Lemur's Rule 1. Yeah, I'm barely on
Something
Instagram.
with lemurs in it.
Yeah, because that's me. Yeah, I love them so much. They're awesome, and also like we need to stop burning down Madagascar because that's like bad for everyone. Anyway, yeah, you could find me there. And I'm mostly on Twitter, just terrifying the whole world. And my last plug is Brat by Charlie XCX is good. Like, it's like the album of the year. Please listen to that. It's really good.
All right. You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. Then I've gotten more back into cosplaying. I actually use my Instagram every now and then. I will not be streaming the rest of this week when this comes up, or the following week, probably, because I'll have a buddy of mine from Canada that'll be coming in to visit. But then after that, I'll be back to regular streaming. I finally made my way through Stellar Blade, so I'll be trying to go back to playing a game I've already played, playing an unknown game, and then maybe an old school one, because I'm like halfway through a Let's Play of Donkey Kong 64, and I kind of want to go back to finishing that. But and the last thing, anyone who's watching this, who's a fan of Ruby, I was originally going to do this at the end of this month, but then time just got away from me. I will be giving away a Kara Ellerby Weiss Snee autograph and a Aaron Zek Blake Belladonna autograph at the end of July. All you will need to do is be watching the stream and be subscribed. And then when the stream comes up, I will start a little thing. A keyword will pop up. All you got to do is enter it, and you'll be entered into it, and OBS will do the whole crap for me. I won't be picking it. It's completely random. And guess what? It's happened before. If you leave the stream, now I'm just re-rolling it. I'm not doing any keepsakes. You need to be watching to do it, because other people kind of got messed out of something that last time that I did it, so that it's fair to everyone else. I will re-roll it if you're not watching during the stream. All right, everyone. Until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.